one bionic glue and got Superman powers with a stretch new Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga from the project. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga from the project. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga from the project. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga from the project. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga from the project. Yeah. John Dillinger shit. Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga from the project. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga from the project. Yeah. John Dillinger shit. Niggas in the hood wanna see my cars on flatbeds. Hey, this is a recession, selling that crack dead. Niggas selling super sour and bionic glue and got Superman powers with them scratch new Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga.
Good afternoon. Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of the Front Line Blacc News. I'm your host, Chan Krumah. I'm joined with my our West Coast correspondent, Shabaka Sankori. Lady Chase should be joining us here shortly. This is season 3, episode 8, part 2 of the Front Line Blacc News. Greetings, Shabaka. How is the Sin City treating you?
Oh, it's hot as hell out here in this desert, but however, I thank God for being a melanated person is because the sun is our friend, you know what I mean? So, you know, as I sit here and enjoy, you know, these caucasoids getting sunburned and what have you, you know what I mean? That's great. You got snow on the mountains way up there at the high altitudes. Which is a good thing. And then keep in mind is that for all these assholes out there that's supporting the dump and the panties of Florida, please check out the YouTube video. It's in the group Pan-African Economics and Politics up on Facebook. It's up on, yes, sir.
He's jumping the gun, Shabaka. So on part 2, we will continue where we left off last night by discussing Florida Ron DeSantis, or as we call him, the Panties, officially announced as president of the United Snakes of Amerikkka with a triple K. Okay, there's Lady J.
Yes, sir.
Rock and roll legend Tina Turner dies at 83.
Right.
A young black man shot by police in Mississippi.
Oh, yeah. Is that the 11-year-old that was shot by the police?
Yep.
Okay.
Aurora Blacc man suing Aurora Police Department for violating his civil rights in 2021 during a traffic stop in our Unhoused Neighbor News and our Unhoused Neighbor Sweeps. So, greetings,
Okay.
thank you for joining us. Say hi to the people.
Hi. If y'all ever see, wait, watch Sylvester Stallone.
What about that suspected white supremacist?
Oh, never mind, man. Say shit, no. It's always got to be something. No, never mind. Never mind. I was watching something that's fucking hilarious. All right, moving on.
All right, so we're gonna talk about Ron the Panties, but first we're gonna play our West Coast correspondent's latest video.
Yeah, please do.
Where's Ramel?
I don't know where Ramel is. He didn't answer the phone when I called him. I need you to add it to the screen. Oh, there it is. So this is our West Coast correspondent, Shabaka San Corey. Fuck the dump, the panties, and the state of Florida.
Exactly.
Jess, you got background noise.
Adam TV.
Rising. This is Shabaka San Corey coming to you from Las Vegas, Nevada. It's getting warm out here, okay? We love the sun, because we're people.
Uh-oh. Internet's acting up. Come on. Come on.
And what happened. And definitely check out our episode that we did today. Called Grand Rising with Shabaka, where we talked about.
Oh, come on, internet. God damn it.
The sound on your side makes that video sound atrocious, and I know Mr. St. Corey's voice does not sound.
And we're talking about the Panties of Florida. Now, I just saw, ladies and gentlemen, a video out of the state of Florida where this bastard had taken all these various books off the school library shelves and what have you. I mean, great book by great writers and what have you. The state of Florida is a detriment, to Black youth and their educational system. Boycott the damn state of Florida. Don't spend no money in Florida. Do not go to Florida. And then from what I understand, there's a weather system that's hitting Florida. Now, one thing of hurricanes, as we all know, they originate off the coast of Africa and they travel over the same passages that our ancestors was brought here in bondage, lying in their own body weight, lying in their own feces and what have you. A lot of them, got very, very sick. But keep in mind, Europeans are not clean anyway. The Europeans that had to show them how to. Wow, I see YouTube is playing games, huh?
That's what it looks like. Looks like Jesse.
Yeah.
Let's see what it Guys, I might have to help you out of your own show or what?
Okay.
Where's this video at?
Okay. I think Jesse's trying to re-sign back in.
Yep, probably.
Trying to get a better connection. And then keep in mind, folks, this is all part of shadow banding. that they
Yep.
doing, and what it is. These lying bastards says that you have the right to freedom of speech and the First Amendment. But I noticed they get very, very selective. They'll put old Uncle Tim Scott up there. They'll put the Panties up there. They'll put the dump up there. And when I
Yep.
say the dump, I'm talking about as in human shit. Okay. But then, such as ourselves, with the pro-black agenda and what have you, for some odd reason, we get a bunch of glitches. For some odd reason, they will, when we go to share, they put up their content unavailable. You see what I mean? So what that is, black family, is nothing more than high-tech fascism. Okay. So they want you to go out here to endorse these agendas, which are counterproductive to black progress. There was a brother earlier today that I saw up there, and he made it plain, is that his videos is not for OTBs, is because OTBs, they have a very, very bad tendency to downplay our suffrage here in the U.S., not only getting the right to vote, but they want to downplay our very existence, such as that Penny Annie bastard that murdered Mr. Neely on the New York City subway. And he's talking about, oh, well, that he was protecting other people and all this bullshit. Now, to quote Professor Black Truth, is that Mr. Neely only weighed 110 pounds and he was emaciated. Okay, so basically what that is saying is that that man was on the verge of starving to death. You
Yeah.
see? So a man starving to death is not going to have any type of energy or strength or mental capacities, might have been affected, by him being hungry. Okay, now, the U.S. Constitution says they believe in life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And so when this coward had murdered this man, the Penny Annie bastard, okay, he contradicted the whole U.S. Constitution. And from what I understand, when he got married to Uncle Sam in the military, he swore to uphold it, and he did the exact opposite. Now, all you black integrationalists who figures that integration is progress, look at Uncle Tim Scott. Okay, it's very, very sad. Oh, I crumb bum on him and will continue to crumb bum on him. I crumb bum on Elders and Leo Terrell and will continue to crumb bum on him. And either one of you clowns are welcome to give us a call this upcoming Tuesday night, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. in the East at Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced. And the number to call in is 516-418-5996. Okay, so the show will be produced later on tonight. Go to the like page of Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced up there on Facebook. Okay, it's because they're shadow banning us right there. So what we have to do, people, we're gonna have to take it to like-minded individuals, and please blast it on Stinky Bird. Please blast it on Racebook. Please blast it everywhere you can. It's a YouTube video, and subscribe to the YouTube channel for it as well too. And the part that is so sad, that is very
Shabaka,
yes, sir.
I'm back. I don't know what the hell
okay.
happened. My computer just went completely out. So I'm back. So I'm gonna finish playing your video.
Yes, sir.
He's like, I'm back. I'm back.
Yeah, and fuck the motherfuckers over there in San Bruno, California as well too. Oh, there it is.
He's like, I'm back.
Oh, got very, very sick. But keep in mind, Europeans are not clean anyway.
They didn't even believe in COVID. Okay, it was the Ethiopians that had to show them how to wash their funky, stinking, nasty asses. There was also black women that gave the concept of feminine hygiene to the world as well, too. So therefore, when I look at the dump as in human shit, made a son of a bitch get convicted, go to jail. He's a damn rapist, okay? And rape is a act wrong within itself. Just like with the panties, as I'm saying, yeah, Ron DeSantis, yeah, I'm saying that you are a panty wearing transvestite faggot motherfucker. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm calling you, punk. How dare you sit up there talking about, oh, well, you know, critical race theory that makes white people feel uncomfortable. Motherfucker, do you know how uncomfortable that we had been on your plantations and what have you?
Right.
Just think about that. Fuck Ron DeSantis and the dump.
Yeah, and
We
I
approve
approved of the message. And people, please download that and spread it, because you could best believe that they're going to come up with some bullshit saying attachments unavailable and all this old kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? Risking a suspension again, you know, but fuck it. Okay? Is because what it is, people, and these contemporary times, okay, there's a fervor out here to kill us. There's a fervor out here to degrade us. There's a fervor out here to marginalize our men. And this is why I appreciate Mr. Terrence Howard retiring from Hollywood. And he made it plain is that they got a hidden agenda to effeminize black men. To effeminize black men. Now, to keep it politically correct, well, fuck political correctness. Let's just keep it real. Okay, they fear the black male, is what it is. They fear retaliation. They fear retribution. This is why they keep us so divided within the black community. This is why you had the crack epidemic.
That's what they really fear. They fear genetic annihilation, because they know whatever we drop our seed in, it's black. So we have just in our reproductive organs, we have the power to eradicate them.
Yes, you see, and then of course they don't want us, you know, to have that knowledge. So this is why, you know, you got the Kanye West and individuals like that, you know what I'm saying, that sit up there and promote this garbage about we got to love everybody, but yet though everybody don't love us, and we just supposed to be there scratching our asses like Uncle Tim Scott, you know what I'm saying. And that video that you showed last night, Brother Pears, that was disgusting. And really, and really. Oh, you got the Anchorman?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Okay, and I feel sorry for Tim Scott, you know, putting all BS aside or what have you. You know, I really feel sorry for him, you know, and like-minded individuals like that. I really do. Because for the last 50 years, you know.
It's a joke.
Yeah, he is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he is.
That motherfucker is a straight walnut head having ass, fucking old white man ass. Oh my God.
Well, the proper term that has been used is as Brother Malcolm said, and as Brother Malcolm said, you had the field Negro and you had the house Negro. So it's quite obvious that Tim Scott and Warlock and Han Coon and Hershey Bar Walker and the Lieutenant Governor of North Carolina, you know, these individuals are sick, okay? But what it is they, and they might not be responsible. You see what I'm saying? It's because you got to look at the indoctrination. You see what I'm saying? Because, you know, 400 years on that plantation system, you cannot help but be indoctrinated. You see what I'm saying? and
Right.
also too Samuel L. Jackson. And
I'm back. The anchorman said he's gonna call back and call in 30 minutes.
okay, all righty, okay. And then the sad part about it is that you know, like Julius Malema said, okay, because I saw a video that he did, and of course we know who Julius Malema is, you know, with the economical freedom fighters out of Azania. Okay, and he was
Yeah.
saying is it's imperative now to unite all of Africa into one fist, as Professor PLO Lumumba has advocated. But also too, but due to this Eurocentric division, okay, of the colonizers, you see what I'm saying? They got people in Africa hating us, and then of course too, you got these brain dead Negroes here in the United States. And I appreciate Brother Che's poster. There's a new film called Coons, starring the majority of you niggas. Okay, and
Yeah,
then
that was
when these
going.
huh?
Lady Che got that clip from our friend Cool Keezy, and she made it into a clip. So shout out to Cool Keezy.
Oh, okay, okay, okay,
It's a reality.
okay,
It's
good.
like return. All we see is coons.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Stop it. Slap
Yeah,
me
with that.
times. It's real hard. Like, let me do it
Yeah.
so that all you feel is the fingertips of, you know, the Orisha just clip your face, like, real hard, like this. Like, what the fuck you thinking?
Oh, yeah.
You know, like that.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
how people get slapped. They just need me to slap them real hard. Like this. Feel the power
Oh,
in
yeah.
that was
Yeah.
like on one. You know what
Oh,
I mean?
yeah.
That was a one time. That
Oh,
was like
yeah.
on levels like 1 to 10. It's like, stop that fucking old coon shit.
Okay. So I gotta move us along because we still gotta get to the first topic, and that is Ron
Yes.
Panties, or otherwise known as Ron DeSantis, officially files to run for president of the United Snakes of Amerikkka with a triple K in 2024.
Right.
And he
Right.
called himself trying to launch his campaign launch on Twitter with the Musty Man, and Twitter crashed multiple times. So we're gonna play that. Shout out to Lisa. Shout out to Lisa Cabrera. If you haven't subscribed to her channel, please do.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ron DeSantis' announcement on Twitter for his presidential candidacy, well, Twitter crashed multiple times. It turned out to be a disaster. This is right up there when he went to Washington, D.C. looking for endorsements for his presidential candidacy, and not one person from the Senate or Congress would back him.
Great news.
It kept crashing and crashing and crashing as he was trying to make the announcement, y'all. It was a complete,
More great news.
unbelievable disaster for Ron DeSantis. Ooh, just when you thought the Most High was not paying attention, he will show you a thing or two.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you remember Elon Musk made the offer for Ron DeSantis to come over there to make his announcement for the 2024 presidential run. Oh, let's get into this because this didn't turn out good at all. Twitter repeatedly crashes as DeSantis tried to make presidential announcement. Oh, man. Some people said 4 times. Some are saying more than 4 times.
Great news.
on Wednesday as Florida Governor Ron DeSantis was set to make his presidential announcement over Twitter Spaces with the new site owner Elon Musk. More than 300,000 people tuned in to the announcement app, and it was struggling to load for some. It was crashing for others. We've got just
Good.
a number of people online. This is what Elon Musk said. So the servers are strained somewhat. Boy, that's embarrassing.
Right.
That is embarrassing. DeSantis' campaign appeared to drop off the call at one point.
Uh-huh. Great news.
Ooh, it wasn't meant to be, y'all. Take this as a sign.
Right.
Take this as a sign for what his candidacy is really truly going to be like, a complete disaster, y'all. These signs are not. They are real.
Right.
Trust me on this.
Right.
So DeSantis' campaign appeared to drop off the call at one point. More than 600,000 people were on the Twitter Spaces. At one point, Musk attempted to redirect the conversation before the event cut off again. Woo, I'm loving it. All right, I'd like to welcome Governor DeSantis for he said before the audio cut out again.
Mm-hmm.
It's unfortunate. We've never seen this before. This is what Elon Musk is saying. Finally, DeSantis joined the new Twitter Spaces with investor David Sachs, where DeSantis was able to make the announcement. Around 150,000 users were tuned in before technical issues. Dun, 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 as Willie D says, hit again.
Yeah.
Great.
Oh no, man! This would have been comedy hour for me if I was over there, y'all. It would have been a serious comedy hour. So anyway, the announcement was expected to serve as a significant coup for Musk and Twitter, as it increasingly courts a right-wing audience. The event comes after high-profile conservatives have embraced Musk takeover and personalities, such as hiring Tucker Carlson over there to bring in content. And Musk acquired the site in October on a promise to restore his vision of free speech, whatever. So anyway, we know some of the things he did, like he took the ban off of Donald Trump after he was banned for January 6th, the insurrection. So Musk has repeatedly praised DeSantis, saying last fall he would support DeSantis in 2024. I tell you what, Elon Musk may support Ron DeSantis, but his platform over there on Twitter obviously did not. Okay. He could bear that announcement in. Boy, talk about a disaster. This was really, truly a major disaster for Ron DeSantis.
Great.
Woo, it's like getting booed at your coming out party, right? I would really just like someone fairly normal and sensitive to be president. This is what Elon Musk was saying. Mm-hmm. That would be great, he said, though he declined to assess the sensibility of the candidates in the race. Musk's position as owner and current CEO of Twitter put him in an unusual position to host a presidential announcement. Wow. I hope, since I'm looking at this, I hope Elon Musk do the debate. And every time Ron DeSantis go to speak, it crashes on him during the debate. So
Okay.
anyway, despite his support for DeSantis, Musk wrote in November, Twitter is a platform must be fair to all. Okay, well, I'm not a big fan of Elon Musk, and I don't like Ron DeSantis, as some people say, the Satan at all. But boy, this was, some call it karma. I call it the Heavenly Father getting the last word in. Ron DeSantis may be doing all of his deviltry down there in Florida, but one thing he could not control is what happened on Twitter today. Talk about, you may say freedom of speech. He didn't do a very good job in getting that speech out today. This was supposed to be a big thing for Ron DeSantis on a social media platform, and you see what happens. You may see this as technical difficulty. I see this as something that's very symbolic to how his whole candidacy will be for 2024. It is going to be filled with bumps and problems all the way. That is my opinion, and I'm definitely entitled to it. But y'all gonna have to tell me what you think about this disaster that occurred today on Twitter, where every time they tried to get this thing up and running, and it just kept crashing over and over and over. God, I love it. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.
Okay. And be sure to like and subscribe the YouTube channel of where Shabaka made that last video talking about the panties and the dump. Okay. The dump, as in human shit. I want to make that perfectly clear. Okay. Now, the dump, he's having some legal issues and they trying to indict this motherfucker. But I'm of the opinion the dump has already, got the fix in, you know what I'm saying? Because the dump is a multi-millionaire, you know what I mean? So, he's got juice. Same thing like with the old Stinky Bird over there. But it's very, very interesting that when we put our videos up there on Stinky Bird, it's very, very interesting when we put our videos up there on Facebook. We get sanctioned, attachment unavailable, and motherfuckers like Jeff Fard, other Yasa bosses, Tim Scott, Warlock, and Hershey Bar, and what have you. You got to understand, Black family. And if we was truly our own nation, then all these aforementioned bastards that I haven't mentioned, who should be hit with treason against the black race, is because this is exactly what they're doing. Yes, sir. And then, as Dr. Huey P. Newton had stated, he does not expect the white-owned media to show positive black male images. Oh, but they'd be more than happy to show you a black man going out here showing a crack of his funky ass and wearing a dress like Billy Porter and what have you, Charlene Theron raising 2 young black boys up, gonna raise them up as girls. Wow. That's incredible. And then, of course, Dwayne Wade, got his son as a girl. And I mean no disrespect to the ladies out there, but let that young man go get him some pussy. He might find out he likes it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't mean no disrespect to the women, but I'm just putting it out there. Gruesome Newsom, all righty, the governor of California. That asshole. Okay, that's Nancy Pelosi's nephew, as we all know. who signed an executive order in California a while back stating that they do not have to put the sex of the child when a baby is born. Incredible. Okay, now see, what makes it so incredible, people, is all of this is an insult to our intelligence, but you still got brain dead motherfuckers out here who believes this shit is normalcy, in which it is not. You see what I'm saying? So once again, thank the Yasa bosses, you know what I'm saying? Al Sharpton and what have you, because even though Al Sharpton was up there waving a rainbow flag, eating a banana. So what subliminal suggestion is that? Okay? And then Al Sharpton with his opportunistic stinking ass is going to the funerals of those who were murdered by the police, like with Mr. Tyree Nichols and what have you down there in Memphis. But I'm yet to hear Al Sharpton with his bobblehead looking ass, okay, crumb bum, on the dude that murdered Mr. Neely. And that's in his neck of the woods in New York City. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And he ain't said, yes, sir.
What are your thoughts about the Twitter crashing on?
Oh, that's great news. And as you know, Tweety Bird sits right there on the corner of 9th and Market Street. Okay. And of course, is about 2 miles from the Castro district of San Francisco, and you know what their agenda is and what have you. So I hope DeSantis, all his videos crash. Hopefully they shadow ban DeSantis like they do Front Line Blacc News, Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced, and what have you. And hopefully the Panties gets humiliated like Uncle Tim Scott Coon. You know what I'm saying? In that video. Now, here's my theory, folks. Here's my theory. Okay, you got the dump, the Panties, and Uncle Tim Scott running for the Republican Party, right?
Yeah,
now, my theory is
Nikki Haley and that goddamn Ramaswamy.
Oh yeah, that Vivek Sawama Samasari or whatever, what the fuck his ass is. Say, motherfucker, I tweeted you on Tweety Bird, and the number for your punk ass to call in, Vivek, is 516-418-5996. Is because Don Lemon told you right. You don't know what the fuck you talking about.
Can y'all even hear me?
Yeah.
Yes,
Jesse, hit it with the torch.
Jesus, the torch isn't working. Already did that.
So sad. It's like this is the saddest state of affairs. Watching like this big ass whatever the fuck it is looks like. You don't even want me to tell you what it looked like.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm putting 2 and 2 together on that one there, Lady Che. Yeah, this alphabetized agenda, you know what I'm saying? That they're trying to force on the black community.
Solving problems one day at a time. All right, now let me go ahead and get in on this Twitter thing real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. What are your thoughts, Lady Che?
My thoughts was I thought that shit was the most amusing fucking garbage I had ever witnessed in my life. First of all, I didn't even get to the announcement. I tapped out the first 10 minutes of them fucking off with the fucking sign, the silence. And, I don't know, maybe don't work. Can you hear me? I was like, you fucking old ridiculous ass fucking white people. I'm out. And I tapped out. I didn't even hear the announcement. That's how whack it was. 10 minutes, I got limited patience for stupidity. I'm like, oh my God. And then I caught the replay.
Yeah.
And then I caught when Trump was talking shit about him. That's what I listened to because that was at least coordinated.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you should have played. Was the shit that Trump was talking after DeSantis' big major fuck up. It's like, all right, come on, cuz you over there doing all this major racist shit, DeSantis, but you can't get yourself together on a Twitter space. That's why I don't fuck around with Twitter. I know I'm slow on the shit. You don't see me going out of there. I don't want to be fucking laughed at.
Yeah, yeah. Twitter is turning into a joke, Lady Che. There it is. And Twitter's located down there in San Francisco, California, right there on the corner of 10th and Market Street, which is right around the corner from the San Francisco Public Library, which is also to less than a quarter of a mile from San Francisco City Hall. And the sad part about it is that old President Obama, when the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that same-sex individuals can go up here and get married, they put the rainbow colors all over San Francisco City Hall, which is called Brooks Hall, by the way, which is right over there by the California State Supreme Court. And somebody I know of did a Twitter from there about, oh shit, about 5, 6 years ago, asking where the motherfucking justice was, when they had murdered Mr. Garner in New York behind the cigarettes, when they killed Mike Brown and things of that nature right there, you see. And, and then, some of the tweets, or I should say some of the reply, to that YouTube video is that the person that made that video was right. And you all are familiar with the person who made the video. Me personally, I forgot the brother's name. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but you all know who made it. And then, you got the professor up there. What's up with the professor?
Yeah, so Professor Blacc Truth, he had to do an essay on this. So Professor Blacc Truth, make sure y'all subscribe to Professor Blacc Truth. Like I said, I've been listening to him for like 10 years. MOT number 383, DeSantis announces candidacy. Whole world laughs.
That shit was funny.
Family and fellow soldiers, I'm the professor, and this is the moment of truth. And in news that will come as a surprise to absolutely no one, moron DeSantis is at long last threatening to run for president now. He's only been campaigning for about the last 3 years. And now America has the chance for him to work his magic on the rest of the country like he did that basket case he calls Florida. He says that he's going to announce his candidacy with Elon Musk, presumably on a Twitter live stream, I guess. So that tells you who this guy thinks his constituency is. He literally takes the insane rantings of that small bubble of racists on Twitter and tries to make legislation based on that. That's who he's trying to appeal to. It's like a slow-moving train wreck. Even though you know exactly how all this is going to end, you still can't take your eyes off of it. Well, he picked the right idiot to give him a platform. The only person in public life more racist and thin-skinned than Ron DeSantis is Elon Musk, that reject from apartheid South Africa. Though I guess it does make sense that DeSantis would want Musk to help him launch his campaign. I mean, remember all those politicians who Elon Musk put into office? Me neither. Elon Musk is not a political kingmaker. And if DeSantis wants to be taken seriously, he's going to have to stop confining himself to these one-on-one chats with people who are already ardent supporters of his and prove that he can actually mix it up with the white media that he claims to not be afraid of. All DeSantis has ever done is go on these little Fox News shows, and he whines about woke and banning books. And that's not a political winner. He would know that if he talked to people other than the handful of online supporters that he's got. He's scared of the left wing of the white media, and they know it. DeSantis doesn't know much about the U.S., and he knows even less about the world. Every time he opens his mouth, something stupid falls out, like his comments about Ukraine. It shows that he's totally ignorant about international affairs, and he's definitely out of touch with the Washington consensus, which both Republicans and Democrats subscribe to. Personally, he has even more political exposure. Believe it or not, in the past, Ron DeSantis had taken some pretty centrist and even occasionally left-leaning positions. That's why he's been trying so hard to be a right-wing extremist. He's trying to rebrand himself. He's hoping that when his political past comes back to haunt him during the campaign, hopefully he will have spent enough time being a reactionary nutcase that people will not care about what he did in the past. But Trump has made it clear that there will be some groomer rumors swirling about him regardless. Trump has already made it clear he doesn't want DeSantis to get into the race. Trump wants his candidacy to seem inevitable, and that means that he needs the field to be all to himself. But DeSantis has done a lot of damage to his own political fortunes, so he has no choice but to run no matter what the circumstances. And that's why he's desperately hoping that Elon Musk, of all people, will be able to supply him with a springboard for his pathetic presidential dreams. I guess the reason he's talking with Elon Musk is because Bill Maher is busy, smoking pot, no doubt. And what exactly will DeSantis and Musk even talk about? Obviously, it's going to be a joint chorus of complaint about woke and cancel culture and phony white grievance and every other petty thing that these racist, white supremacist, insecure males talk about. It will not come off as a candidate entering the race. It's going to come off like a Twitter troll griping about his own petty grievances. It's not going to elevate DeSantis, and it definitely won't do Musk any favors either. With these two pea brains combining forces, trolling will have a field day, but DeSantis' presidential hopes are already DOA. The only thing lower than DeSantis' IQ are his poll numbers against Trump, which, by the way, have gone down since he began his nationwide trolling tour. The more people learn about DeSantis, the less they like him. It's like I told you, he's too stupid to know how to run an actual presidential campaign. All of this race baiting he's been doing against black people, that only works in a handful of blood-red counties, but it's not a national strategy. This guy has political tunnel vision. All he can think about is trying to win the news cycle, not an election. He's positioned himself so far to the right, it'll be impossible for him to pick up anyone to the left of Nixon. And he also clearly lives in a bubble where the only people he allows around him are the people who already agree with him. He took the wrong lesson away from Donald Trump's 4 years of pandering to his own degenerate political base. Trump kept his base support strong, but the problem was his race baiting antagonized black voters in the very swing states who had stayed home 4 years earlier in 2016. That's why Donald Trump lost in 2020. And by copying Trump's playbook so slavishly, Ron DeSantis has also copied Trump's mistakes too. But then again, this was inevitable. DeSantis is an empty vessel, especially his brain. He has no ideas, no savvy, and no intelligence. He's basically a barely competent functionary who desperately wants to be a leader, but he's not qualified or capable. DeSantis and Musk are a natural fit, though, given their mendacity and stupidity. I'm sure they like to consider themselves the White Legion of Doom, but in reality, they're the Legion of Dumb. Elon Musk is also someone who lives inside a bubble. When I told you that DeSantis' support comes mostly from wealthy white racists who surround themselves with yes men and think that they're the smartest people on the planet, well, I submit to you exhibit A, B, C, and D. And the D stands for dumb. No matter what DeSantis may want to believe, Florida is not America. Florida happens to be one of the most dysfunctional states in the union, known for its craziness. Florida has a ton of retirees, a bunch of old folks, which means that it's not the future. It's a place where people go when they don't have to work anymore. But it's not a place for a person to build a life, not for a young person. It's true that a lot of people did move to Florida, but it's also true that a lot of these newcomers leave too. And why is that? The state bills itself as having low state taxes, in fact, zero state taxes. And this has attracted a lot of people as well, but mostly these are people who are totally ignorant of the real problems that go along with living in Ron DeSantis' Florida. For starters, Florida is the most expensive place to live in America. The housing prices are insane. The cost of renting is every bit as bad as San Francisco or Los Angeles. The wages are low. And the cost of home ownership is also exacerbated by the fact that homeowners insurance in Florida is 3 times the national average. Many of the people who went to go live in Florida did it because they heard that they could get away from paying state taxes. But very soon, these people found out that the cost of taxes in Florida was nothing compared to the cost of living in Florida. So unless you've already got a very good source of income, going to Florida doesn't make much sense. Now, another part of Florida's population growth has come from right-wing nuts who have gone to live there because they saw the writing on the wall in their own home states. The top state whose residents left to go live in Florida was New York. Donald Trump, you know, is of course originally from New York. The regular migration of New Yorkers to Florida is nothing new. But in recent years, you have a lot of dirty cops who have been getting their crooked teeth kicked in by the citizens of New York City, and they're hoping to escape prosecution by fleeing to the People's Republic of Florida. You probably remember the Confederate flag-waving degenerates who laid siege to Michigan's capital back in 2020? Well, that's also part of Florida's population growth, fueled by racist Michiganders who claimed that they were objecting to the COVID lockdowns, but in reality, these were just a bunch of white supremacists who were trying to do a dress rehearsal for the January 6th insurrection. DeSantis visited Michigan, and while he tried to be snarky, it's Gretchen Whitmer who ought to be thanking DeSantis for making Michigan a solidly blue state again. All of DeSantis' anti-Black race baiting lured those racist rubes from Michigan to Florida, and that deprived the Michigan GOP of the votes they needed to hold the legislature. In fact, Florida has become a deplorables magnet, attracting trash from all over the U.S. But the people that it attracts are mostly public sector degenerates like members of the NYPD or retirees who don't know that the only thing lower than Florida state taxes are the IQ of its residents, and well-to-do right-wing nuts who have more money than sense. That's not a population. That's a Saturday Night Live skit, and a bad one. Florida is enormously dependent on tourist dollars, and right now DeSantis is attacking the state's #1 generator of tourists, Disney. Last year, it was reported that the life expectancy for Floridians has dropped by a year and a half, making it the only state in the union where the cost of living is going up and the chances of living are going down. They're banning books, but it makes sense that Floridians don't mind since they can't read. Nice to see all that homeschooling paid off. Trump has solidified much of his support, including from morons on state. The Florida politicians who are claiming to support DeSantis are mostly doing it because they have to work with this clown, but nobody's actually enthused about him because he's so empty and vapid. The wealthy white interests who want him to be an alternative to Trump have walled themselves off behind stacks of $100 bills, and most of them have given money to Trump anyway, so they're hedging their bets regardless. Unless Trump suffers from some unforeseen calamity, moron DeSantis isn't getting the nomination. Try as he might, his Trump impersonation fell flat. It simply wasn't as entertaining as the real thing. And every time moron DeSantis opens his mouth, something stupid falls out. When Tucker Carlson got sent packing, DeSantis lost his biggest platform. He's not witty, he can't think on his feet. Unlike Trump, who always seems to have a comeback ready, DeSantis spouts his pre-canned talking points that the white media sucks, and that's about all he knows how to say. And he actually wonders why his poll numbers haven't moved. The American electorate, the sensible people who DeSantis actually needs if he wants to have a chance of winning the presidency, they are so turned off by his petty authoritarianism, they're not going to support him. And he can give up on rebranding himself next year. His reputation has already been solidified as book banner in chief and ignorant on anything else. Even if he had some good ideas, and I actually like his recent stance on illegal immigration, the problem is that DeSantis has piled up so much other garbage on top of it that the one or two tiny flashes of worthwhile policy he might promote is buried under the avalanche of BS that he's already done. DeSantis is the last gasp of the never-Trumpers. I personally will enjoy watching as he endures one political humiliation after the next by the Orange Man. His only hope of gaining traction will be to take on Trump directly, but Trump's so far ahead, he doesn't need to debate DeSantis. Though I think Trump will beat on DeSantis anyway, simply as a way to show how tough he is. He'll use DeSantis as a proxy for Biden, and people will gobble it up. They'll love seeing it. Humiliation sells as much as violence. And on a side note, a lot of political pontificators like the Young Turks said that after his poll numbers crashed, DeSantis wasn't going to run. I, however, never said that. I said he would run. He doesn't really have a choice. He's done all these catastrophic stunts in Florida, and his only hope of having a political future is this all-or-nothing run for the presidency. I'm not a betting man, but if I had to lay odds on when moron DeSantis will inevitably throw in the towel, I would say that he'll refuse to concede all the way up until the summer of next year. He'll try to stall until he gets as close to the RNC convention as possible. His last ditch is going to be to try to convince Trump to make him his running mate. But Trump only wants people around him who are loyal, dumb, and lack any ambition to challenge him on anything. The only one of those three traits that DeSantis has is the dumb part. Incompetent as DeSantis is, he still has political ambitions, even if he's too stupid and clueless to achieve them. Trump doesn't like that. DeSantis is petty to a fault, and the only reason he has any political support from the GOP donors is because he's pulled all these ridiculous attention-whoring stunts to get airtime on TV.
All right, can you hear me?
Those are acts of desperation, not innovation. He would have set himself on fire live on Fox and Friends if he thought that would help him. His entire Trump-like shtick only appeals to a few hardcore red counties, but it's not a national strategy. His poll numbers have remained stagnant from the very beginning. Some of his never-Trumper allies tried to manufacture some lies in the form of polls that said that he was ahead of Trump, but that fell apart fast. DeSantis is already showing what his last-ditch effort is going to be to try to gain some momentum. He's already trying to make inroads out in New Hampshire since that's the first presidential primary. But as I explained before, the New Hampshire primaries are highly overrated. As often as not, the winner of the New Hampshire primary doesn't get the nomination. Bernie Sanders won the New Hampshire primary in 2016 and didn't get the nomination. In 2008, Hillary Clinton beat Barack Obama in New Hampshire. But rather than that being the beginning of her...
Hang up with the anchor man. I got him over here. It's like you're slow there.
Commander Brandy Majors.
I got him over here too.
Hang up.
Hang up?
Call Lady Tay.
Hang up over there. I got you over here. Guys, like I multitask and fix everything. Pay attention, Jesse.
I was trying to get him on the air.
Her coronation, it was actually the end of the road for her. And as I've also explained, presidential races have a flow to them. The people who come charging out of the gate first and fastest also tend to flame out first too. DeSantis has been trying to make the presidency out the last 3 years. Since that's the first now, as things get underway between Trump and DeSantis, the white media is going to shift their coverage ever so subtly because presidential races are great for ratings, and they've learned over the decades that the best way to milk the presidential race for ratings is to create these phony horse races, pretend as if it's neck and neck, even though they know it's not. They knew that Hillary Clinton wasn't going to beat Barack Obama, at least it became clear to them by the spring, but they pretended as if she had a chance anyway. Even though it was obvious McCain and Palin definitely couldn't win, they reported on that race between McCain and Obama as if it was neck and neck to the very end. Even though everybody predicted Mitt Romney would get beat like a drum in 2012, even Ann Coulter predicted it long before Romney announced his candidacy, the white media still pretended like it was neck and neck between Romney and Obama anyway. That's part of their business model. Presidential races are good for ratings. And I expect the same thing to happen with Trump and DeSantis. Expect some very creatively worded headlines and some phony baloney polls claiming that DeSantis has gotten a bump in his poll numbers and that he's gaining steam among likely to vote Republicans or this or that straw poll, etc. DeSantis has failed to get real support in the real world. His only Republicans have gerrymandered Florida beyond all hope of democracy. Like with Michigan, the GOP supermajority is artificial because they actually don't have that much support, but they have been allowed to draw the map so hideously skewed in their favor, it guarantees they maintain a majority no matter what the state's demographics. They've created their own artificial reality, but moron DeSantis has convinced himself that it's real. That's because Florida has people moving there. Well, it must be because they like what he's doing. His poll numbers are embarrassing for him, and worst of all, this is where he stands after 3 years of relentlessly and shamelessly promoting himself as presidential material. He's been doing all this racist crap for years now, and because he has no ideas in that empty head of his, the only thing that he knows to do at this point is the same old racism, just more of it. DeSantis' problem is that he's a dumpster fire when he gets in front of the cameras. All he knows how to do is to have softball interviews on Fox News. But the Fox News audience aren't the ones who put connections. Thanks to DeSantis' asinine antics, a lot of the right-wing support that made states like Michigan battleground states have left. They've gone. He's preaching to the choir down there, and because he's so thin-skinned, he doesn't want to believe that he did all that race baiting for absolutely nothing. His donors don't want to believe it either. When he finally does have to admit defeat, though, I can only imagine what his concession speech will sound like, or if he even will give one. Nobody respects DeSantis, so he can't threaten to have his supporters stay home on election day if he doesn't get the nomination. He can't threaten to withhold support at all. DeSantis has created these little safe spaces for himself, these safe, insulated playpens where he can't possibly be hurt. But presidential politics is not some cakewalk. It's a full-contact street fight. And there's very few who are more brutal or dirty than Donald Trump. Both Trump and DeSantis are fighting for their lives. DeSantis is fighting to salvage any chance of a political future. Meanwhile, Trump's fighting to stay out of prison. We can all agree that Donald Trump has far more incentive to win the presidency than DeSantis. DeSantis, I think, is going to go out just like his predecessor, Florida Governor Jeb Bush, did when he got steamrolled by Trump 7 years ago.
Nobody cares that we were not live for like 10 minutes.
Ron DeSantis doesn't want to have to understand that the road to the White House doesn't lead to an internet website, not even Twitter. What makes this so poetically ironic is that DeSantis will get the white media attention that he's been so desperately craving. But mostly,
have the mute off and no one is interrupting or
thoroughly humiliated by Donald Trump. And the you want. I'd like to take a moment.
I gotta yell at everybody like, I'm like, pay attention to me.
So is the anchorman with us?
Obviously.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We've been here for 10 minutes. Nobody's listening to us. Nobody is listening to us. That's all right. That's why me and Clinton are the smartest motherfuckers on the planet.
That's right.
Okay. Yeah, well, see, what it is you get a lot of these brain dead motherfuckers who do not like truth. And just like as Professor Black Truth said, you know, clowns like the dump, as in human shit, and the panties. And yeah, DeSantis, I'm saying that you're a transvestite and you go around in women's clothes. You fucking punk. Okay. They're trying to set this fervor, black family, of to eradicate us, you know, to straight eradicate us. You see what I'm saying? But all that we have been through and we still prevailed. Okay, so that definitely goes to show that we are definitely being watched over by the power of the ancestors. And then as the weather system moves in down there to Florida, as we know, the weather systems take the exact same course that the slave ships did, going into the Gulf of Mexico, off the coast of Florida, the Carolinas, and what have you. And then, of course, New Orleans, Louisiana, which was one of the major slave ports of the South, that and Charleston, South Carolina. The French were very, very brutal to their slaves as well, too. So what it is that when the slave master handpicks his coons, okay, like Tim Scott, Warlock, Hershey Bar, stuff like that, these brain-dead Negroes honestly believe that they are going to be rewarded for this bullshit. But you saw when Tim Scott, when the dump was in the White House, of how Uncle Tim Scott with his stymied-looking ass, and, you know, buckwheat, what have you, you know, stand up there trying to shake hands and all of them, you know, spitting that fool's face. I didn't feel sorry for him. And the reason why I did not feel sorry for him, because that miseducated bastard like Elders and Leo Terrell and Thomas Sewell, okay, should have known better. See, this is the sad part about the chain on the brain that Dr. Woodson had said about his miseducation of the Negro. These motherfuckers, man, you, as they say, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't force him to drink, right?
Yeah.
But the sad part about it is I truly feel sorry for them. But where I get most irritated and most highly offended is when a motherfucker like that comes up there to me and says I should endorse that same indoctrination and bullshit. No. No. I get deeply offended by that, you know. Just like how you get the brain dead, man, you know. I ain't no African, man. You know, I was an American. Nigga. They clearly told you in the U.S. Constitution that your black ass can't be a citizen. Read your Dred Scott case. You know, the U.S. Supreme Court told you that.
That's why they got to put on civil rights every 25 years, Shabaka.
Yeah, Brother Paris, and that there's right up your alley. You know what I'm saying? And it's really sad that they go, what do they call that, man? Renewing it, re-ratifying it, or what? Okay.
Yeah.
It's called the what now?
Ratifying.
To ratify it every 25 years.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So once again, you know, this is clearly in the face of the brain dead, just like them sticking their heads up a horse's funky ass and talking about that it smells like roses. Okay. A person like that, black family, is really to be pitied. But however, in these current contemporary times that we as a people are in a state of emergency. As Brother Paris says, B1 agenda.
I found the video.
Which one?
of Tim Scott getting ignored.
Oh yeah, put it up there. Put it up there for all our people to see. And look at this stymie ass skinning and grinning motherfucker.
Hey,
You know what I'm saying?
Salute. Where are you tapping in from, the Renegade?
Salute, Renegade, and welcome.
Who is the renegade?
I don't know, Ramel. You know, we get interesting people tuning in, so I don't know if he's another.
So that's good.
Sunday, man. Oh, we do got somebody in there. Or we did.
Yeah.
Or don't.
And there's the dump giving a presidential speech. 9,000 previously neglected neighborhoods, thanks to Opportunity Zones, a plan spearheaded by Senator Tim Scott as part of our great Republican tax cuts. Yeah, look at Stymie.
He got props from Trump. That's something what I was looking for, though. But yeah,
it's outside, brother Paris. Yeah, it's outside. Anchorman, what's going on with you?
Salute to you, my general. How you doing, brother?
Oh, out here burning up out here in Las Vegas, enjoying the sunlight.
Hands itching, money's coming.
Yeah. Funk a honky, funk a donkey.
Yeah, no.
Okay, yeah, brother Jay, that video is Uncle Tim Scott standing outside. I believe it was a speech given by the dump, as inhuman shit, who gave an address outside, and it's shortly after he became, when he was selected as the president. And you see old Uncle Tim out there skinning and grinning, yassa bossing, ass scratching, being a homie kind of nigga. And they just walking by, man, ignoring that stupid motherfucker, And I hate to talk like this here, people, but I am halfway intelligent, somewhat miseducated myself, you know what I mean? But I know when I smell the stink of shit. And they just stood there, ignored him, and he's skinning and grinning up there. And Mike Pence, he looks like a goddamn Nazi SS officer. You know what I'm saying? Sitting there. But one thing about Mike Pence.
Just in a different faction.
Yes, sir. But one thing I'd have to say about old Pence, is that old Pence, he called up Dan Quayle and said to Quayle, man, what am I to do? The dump wants me to flip these electoral votes. And Pence wouldn't do it, so what did his old boy do? Sat out there and threw him to the wolves. The January 6th insurrection. Hang Mike Pence. Hang Mike Pence. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just checking out my surroundings out here.
All right! USA! 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 If South Carolina, I said, if South Carolina is Trump country, let me hear you scream!
Because allow himself to get tokenized like this.
Yes.
Oh, big time. But one thing I must say about the now hold on, folks. Hold on, folks. Okay, hold on, lady. I got to get this in.
I want to talk about this for a second. I got a real beef with this shit. I got a real serious beef. I can't contain myself. Shabaka, come on now. I'll let you
Go ahead.
You can't contain yourself. This is one of those moments I can't contain myself. Black people.
Okay.
Black people. Please stop this bullshit. Please stop this bullshit. Man, I saw a video yesterday, right? Real shit. Me and Jesse were watching this video, and it happened in our city. Hold on. Let me get to it, right? And I'm just gonna pull it over here to politics. It's always about politics, right? And we're just gonna pause right here where we're at, because it's a prime example of what the fuck I'm about to say. Okay? Me and Jesse watching this video last night because I told Jesse, hey man, I gotta see this debate that they was talking about, because I'm thoroughly gonna clown this bitch on Tuesday, right? Talking about the mayoral running for mayor, the white lady, right? And so I'm like, I'm all over this bitch's helmet, man. I'm shutting shit down left and right. Like left and right. You might as well just call me the Lady Eric Mays. Okay? I'm shutting shit down. I'm not giving a fuck, right? So I'm sitting there like, come on, Jesse. He's like, I don't want to put. I'm like, come on, cuz, please. I damn it forced his hand, right? He's like, you're going to go like it. I'm like, all right, you're right, right? You know I'm right. He's always right. So he starts playing the video. Now this broad is sitting next to his sister. It's in a predominantly black building. There's always black shit going on in there, right? Because that's just part of the community, right? That's just what it is, right? So that's
you remember Cleo Parker Robinson Shabaka?
All the good events are supposed to happen, right? And they've been hosting all these forums there, right? All right, cool, whatever. So it's two white people in black in what and I like to call another black event center, right? So the sister's sitting there in her chair. She's sitting next to this broad, right? This broad gives her classic fucking roundabout same speech we heard like 15 million times. Stop pushing buttons, Ramel. Right? She's over there, right? She's over there sitting there talking, and then she wants to decide she wants to tokenize. This is why I say tokenize. She goes ahead and she says some weird ass shit, and then she throws in black people or black women, and she touches the sister.
Yeah, she taps her on the leg.
Oh no! Did she just tokenize this broad? Right? She was making a point, and she had to make an expressive, animated point. So she puts her nasty little white hand on this sister, right? Right? She touches her, right? Like, I'm with you, that type, right? I'm right here for you all of a sudden. So she touches the sister, grips this lady's arm a little bit, you know what I mean? And the lady, I'm like, I'm like this, just like this. This bitch really tokenized this broad? Like that. I was like, this shit is out of control. And his sister sat there and took it. And little by little, now I'm not gonna lie. Now this sister is a strongly built, nicely shaped, thick, hard-bodied sister, right? Mm-hmm. And she got thick legs and cakes, you know what I mean? So as the show is progressing, right? She keeps shifting her chair with her legs and ass, right? Like quietly just keep shifting almost off the stage, right? And I'm like, every time I look up, I'm not watching, other shit because I can't look straight ahead, right? I'm watching too much happening. I'm going off and making mental notes, right? And I'm like, is this sister really moving her ass across the desk all nonchalantly across the stage? I was like, she's doing that with her cakes. Like, she got big, thick legs, man. She don't want to sit next to this bitch. She knows she get tokenized. Right. She knows she got tokenized. And it took like 3 other sisters to get up to start asking some really hard questions. Mm-hmm. And they could thank me for that. Mm-hmm. I want everybody to thank me for that. Yeah. Okay. If it wasn't for me, you bitches would be sitting in the fucking cubby not knowing what to say. Right? You wouldn't know what to say. You wouldn't know how to handle these bitches. So I want everybody to thank me, Denver. Black Denver women. Thank me. Because if it wasn't for me getting up in these bitches' faces talking shit all the time, either on Zoom or wherever, you motherfuckers would never say a word. Mm-hmm. You would allow yourself to get tokenized. And if it wasn't for me pointing out that this bitch be tokenizing, you wouldn't have shit to say when you got there. Right. So thank me.
So tell people your big announcement about her.
Who?
Kelly Bruff.
What about her?
The
Oh,
meet
we're
and
going
greet.
to go up. That what?
The meet and greet on Tuesday.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so there's a meet and greet on Tuesday right down the street from my house. Literally, like 4 blocks away. Maybe 5. And I'm planning on being there on Tuesday. I don't give a fuck what I got to do. I'm planning on being there Tuesday night, right? So I could go over there and ask the hard questions. Because, you know, if it wasn't for me, which I know they don't want to talk about it, but you all really need to dig deep and tell the truth. If it wasn't for me and Jesse, you motherfuckers would not be saying anything about anything black. You fuckers would be sitting in the car, yes, my son, eating butter biscuits and eating off the fucking white man's table and shit, just doing the most. So if it wasn't for us over here, just all up in the face talking shit all the time and telling y'all the fucking truth, none of you motherfuckers would even have the audacity to say any of this shit. You wouldn't. You wouldn't. We've been watching for a whole fucking 3 years. So we know that none of you motherfuckers get bucked like us.
Right.
None of you. So I gotta sit there talking shit. I'll make sure I announce that too. That if it wasn't for me and Jesse,
Northeast Ohio. Appreciate you tapping in.
Like, yeah, thank you. None of them would be getting bucked like that, like we and Jesse do. It just be shutting shit down.
Thank you, Commander, for your contributions, Commander.
You know it's true, Ramel. You know it's true. They motherfucking bitches over there all of a sudden.
Salute as a frontline campaign.
All of a sudden, yeah.
Salute.
Thank you. All of a sudden, these bitches decide, and we're tokenized Leslie Herod. Man, fuck Leslie Herod. Let me tell you why we talk shit about Leslie Herod. Leslie Herod decided to put her motherfucking gay agendas and her love for the white man ahead of being black.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, right? Remember we told you about her.
She's rude. So if anybody wanted to tell me anything about that, I was praying yesterday. I was playing my part, right? Because you know we were for city council. My mother was like, well, what do you said all this bad stuff about Leslie Herod? Yes, I did. And what? Let me tell you why I said it, though. Why I said it is because we're on a black first agenda. This sister is black, but she refused to acknowledge the blackness, and only when it's convenient. She wanted to go ahead and subject herself to the fucking to the agendas of whatever the fuck she's promoting, right? It wasn't
another Amorosa.
Her. And she's rude, and she's disrespectful to black men.
Yep.
Nobody want to acknowledge
that's
that.
Bad.
She's disrespectful to black men, and she'll ride with some black men if they're on the white agenda. We noticed that major times.
She an Oreo cookie.
A major times when she shunned Jesse and talk shit to Jesse, but go ahead and be right next to Al Gardner. Or when she was next to Al Gardner, she was talking to any other white man or white woman she possibly could. So to me, that right there is nothing but a motherfucking cool straight bed when she motherfucking pretender to be in a black face. She's like, not even a pretty black face, okay?
No.
Not even a pretty black face.
Uglier every time we see her. Every time we see her, Shabaka Ramel, she gets uglier and uglier.
She gets worse than my like Sharafita. Like she's just horrible looking.
Wow.
It's like the gap get bigger and the nose get more punched in.
Plastic surgery ain't good.
What you gonna do about it, bitch? What you gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it? No, but real shit though. She mean as fuck, okay, to black men. She's snotty, or that's what it's snotty. Snotty, like my mama used to say snide, like somebody's real snotty. She's like that. And then when I don't give a fuck what she endorses. That's the whole thing that doesn't make any goddamn sense to me. All these mayoral candidates want to endorse these motherfuckers. I'm like, look, you couldn't get an endorsement out of either one of us.
They all got jobs. They all got promises for jobs.
Yeah, and then he lied on that fucking forum because he lied. I'm like, where Terrence Roberts at spreading that propaganda? He got a job over there. In fact, let's just go ask a real motherfucker that want to beat his ass. Let's go ask Purnell if he got offered a position.
Right.
Let's go ask a real motherfucker. He said he don't disrespect the Crips no more, so let's go ask him. Let's go ask him. Let's ask him if he got a fucking position now. What are they gonna do with me, man? They gonna do shit with me. So they're gonna get this. I would tell them on Tuesday. Check it out. This broad tokenized the sister right in front of everybody, and then she had the audacity when they got real hype with her. When the sisters got real hype with her, she said, "I didn't disrespect anybody. I didn't disrespect nobody. I was just trying to make a statement. I didn't disrespect anybody." Yeah, you did, bitch. You've been disrespecting black women since the start of your motherfucking campaign. You're rude to black men. Actually, for what I like to consider the fetishizer of black men, right? She's a real touchy-feely type. It's whatever. I seen it with my own eyes. You could ask me if you can believe me if you want to, but I seen it with my own goddamn eyes.
I witnessed it with my own eyes because he tried that shit with me.
Facts. I did see that part with my own. I was like, yeah.
Was she smothering you, brother? Was
She over there with the online arm touches and grips. Bitch, get a grip of your own. I got so much to say because we could go on all day. I said, can Brandy Majors and whatever the fuck her name is, what the fuck is her name? Kelly Bruh. Brandy and Kelly Bruh. You see how irrelevant this bitch is? Brandy and Kelly Bruh made up their own. Because I promise you, I'll make that bitch cry. I'll be like, are you or are you not with that motherfucking lobbyist motherfucker that's like, you know, like the dirty, dark fucking mafioso type of Denver?
Damn.
Or is he or is he not gonna drop every motherfucking city contract so you can run and be the mayor? Where Hickenlooper endorsement?
Yeah, he was his chief of staff.
Your husband committed suicide in? Was it the crack or the heroin era? Why were you enabling him then, but you'll fucking be hard on outside strangers now? And what makes you think you God and tell people that they too sick for them to take care of themselves, and you just know they need to be locked up or in detox? What makes you the decision maker of that?
Fuck Oreo.
Exactly. And why won't you repeal the camping ban? Why you over there fucking hustling your paymakers fucking shit? But let's talk about this real quick. What makes you God? The deciding factor of whether or not they can or can't take care of themselves because they're having a moment. Are you going to be out there with them? I mean, let's talk about the time when I seen you when I was in a tent. Come over there and do some snitch shit. Let's talk about that. I'm outside.
I want to know what happened. What did you do?
Man, I was outside in a tent, right? My sister was living in a tent. She got a house. She got an apartment now, but she was living in a tent. And she was in there with her homies, and her friends were over there about ready to light up and smoke up or some shit. I don't fucking know. But the windows of the tent were open, and they were drawn down. And where she was over there was like 22nd and 21st to the Rappel, somewhere around there, right? So all this development and shit. And she was in there. She was in the tent. She's like, I'm gonna go wash up. She's gonna go to St. Francis. I said, cool. I'll stay here and watch the tent. Right before she gets out the tent, 3 white women come. One of them was Kelly Bruh. I didn't recognize her until the commercial. I didn't recognize her until the Unhoused commercial where she was tokenizing unhoused people. But that day, she wasn't offering help. That day, she came out some old slick shit. This is right after the fucking Denver partnership had dropped that motherfucking app, right? So
yeah, clean and safe.
Yeah, so she come over there knocking on this tent. She didn't really knock on the tent. She walked up on the tent. At the first, I was in the tent, and I'm all loped up and shit. Like, you know, I'm outside. So I'm outside. I'm different. You know, I'm outside. I'm in normal fucking, you know, gear. But I got permanent shades on when I'm outside. So she over there looking at me and shit. She like, hey, have you seen my nephew Calvin or some shit like crazy shit like that? Some white boy name. I said, nah, we don't even talk to people like you. Pushing or some shit like that. Like, move around, bitch. Like, I was like, move around, bitch. You know what I mean? I didn't know who she was at the time. I just treated her like every other white person I saw on the street trying to talk to us. I know who the fuck she was. I swear to God, I know who the fuck she was until I seen a commercial, and she had been tokenizing the homeless people again with the tokenizing. Look, they never show a whole black person in these commercials, and this latest commercial, latest commercial set me the fuck off. And latest Kelly Brook commercial has set me the fuck off. Because you know who she's missing in this latest commercial? The two main pieces of her tokenizing process.
Hashim and Median.
The blackest of the black, right?
Yeah.
Let me see my face like the blackest of the black. And I'll take it in any manner you want to. Right? Take it any way you want to. They weren't in that commercial. They weren't in that commercial.
We lost Shabaka. But Shabaka said can only stay on an hour.
Can you play that commercial real quick?
Increment still here. I'm online.
I don't know if I can find that stupid ass commercial.
That shit was hilarious to me. She had every endorsement people in there, and one or two lowly black people in the back. Like maybe they were working IT.
It was Webb and Wilma Webb.
Oh yeah, but they disappoint me so badly. If I could say to them, I'd be like, man, I had respect. Now I don't respect anything that's happening right here, because why? Why? And then why every time we hear this bitch, she's like, I've been endorsed by such and such and such and such. Who gives a fuck about it at this point? What the fuck these endorsements gonna really do? When I get there on Tuesday, I'm like, I'm not gonna endorse you. Team parents don't endorse off brands. Right? Since everybody can make these little round weird ass statements, can I just be like, I'm not gonna say it, can I? I'm just gonna Team Paris just is not going to endorse this off-brand behavior because you tokenize black people. Real shit. And the shit with Daryl Brooks, I'm like, Daryl Brooks used gay and black.
Dang.
Well, Daryl Watson. Yeah.
Yeah, Daryl Watson. My bad. Daryl Watson. Gay and black, not black and gay.
Fuck the Oreo, fuck the Cheerio.
Gay and black and weird and gay and black. You're a fucking weirdo, cuz. Like, he is a fucking weirdo. I'm not even gonna take that back. I just seen these little clips and commercials and shit, and I'm like, do you really talk like that? Is your mouth really that big? Why do you have the ashiest lips ever? Rock in the afternoons, like, cuz your shit, you're like, I swear to God, I think you're high some of these days. You're over there fucking around. And Candy.
Candace is Lebanon, right? She's from Lebanon?
She was.
Yeah.
A lot of
Sprago.
She was a lesbian.
Sprago, Ramel.
He said Lebanon.
You were asking who the daddy was.
He said Lebanon, and I said, no, she was a lesbian. Now she knocked up. Who knows? Who cares? That's beside the point. The point is that she tried to remix reparations and do it behind the black people's back in a private meeting of study session. Another goddamn study session. For fuck's sake. And it didn't have anything to do with cash payments or lineage. And they tried to tokenize Jesse. And Jesse wasn't having it. Jesse said, fuck no, fuck that, and fuck no. He wasn't having none of that.
Yep.
He got mad, and then fucking Brother Jeff tried to clown him on the way out, and Jesse still fucking left mad.
I think Brother Jeff is on some other shit.
Wait till they see the
paperwork.
paperwork. Wait till they see the paperwork. I'm gonna reach in like everybody else, and he has no choice but to host me. And then I don't know how to behave, so.
Here it is. It's called the most qualified. That's the name of the video. I found it.
Check this out. When I go and announce for city council and I bring the paperwork and all my shit done, he has no choice but to host me. Because he bans me for everything. And he says, reach in, I'm gonna do it in public. So you motherfucker, you have to do it. You have no other choice. You can't, since you don't respond, Jeff, to text messages when I message, since you don't respond to phone calls, you have no choice but to see me. And I'm going to do it.
All right, here's the ad.
Seduction doll. What is this? Well, what is it? I take my fucking milky mulatto self in there. And
I'm new to this whole candidate thing. I've never run for office before, but I have run the city. As Mayor Hickenlooper's chief of staff, I'm Kelly
Where
Brown.
is Hickenlooper?
Won't solve our problems. I'll never promise something I can't deliver. It's why I'm endorsed by Denver police officers, former police chiefs, Governor Ritter, Wellington and Wilma Webb, and so many others. They know that this time, the most qualified man for the job, that's me.
4 black people in the whole commercial talking about she represents the black community. That's a sad state of affairs, cuz. Sad state of affairs. I don't give a fuck if nobody stands with me. As you can tell.
You gave us the radio.
Yeah, so kind of got sidetracked, but we kind of got sidetracked, but
I deserve a chance to talk about this for a quick second, man, because everyone else get to talk about shit. I go, I can't talk about shit real fast. Real quick, just real fast. They always disrespect me, man. I don't give a fuck. They're gonna hear it because they've been taking my shit and running with it. They've been running with it hard.
Terrorism.
Hard. If it wasn't for me and you, they wouldn't have the fucking audacity to stand up and talk to them white people like that.
right.
Stand up, they pissed.
All right. They had the audacity to stand up and pump their chest out lately and be like, look here, you're doing bad things to black women. Ah! What for us,
Stand up
Jesse?
when you pissed.
If it wasn't for us, cuz you know that. You know I'm telling you the truth. If it wasn't for us, they wouldn't do it. They would sit there and just eat whatever the fuck these people say. This bitch has been running with the same speech for 8 months. Man, if I hear
Facts.
one more moment about dude, she lied. She was like, she said, black women taught me everything. That's new. That's a new statement in the whole 9 months of campaigning. This is like, black women have been, you know, the support system behind my campaign. They've taught me what, when, and what is right to say. Oh, really?
Lesbian.
Oh, really?
Women.
They would have told you to keep your motherfucking ass out of black church.
Right.
The lesbian first campaign is backing her.
Fuck her too. You know, I didn't want to have to say I don't like you, man, but you want to ride the wave. And I'm sick of your battleship. Personal mission. What you gonna do about it?
Damn. You two gangster twins.
What you gonna do about it? Commander. It's only the truth. It's only the truth. You can't remix something that isn't for you.
All right.
You can't. This is a lineage base. Where was all this heat when you were dating Carrie Joy?
Right.
Where was this heat when Lisa Calderon was fucking your fucking side, your fucking consigliere?
Yeah.
Where the fuck was that? Where about, what about Elvis Brooks? What about all this other shit? Where was the heat for reparations then? Come on now, stop the cap. You riding a wave, bitch. And I'm not gonna let you. Sinking your battleship. C1 is going down.
I like that.
See, you ever play Battleship with a brother or sister, man? You're like, man, I got you, motherfucker, right here, C1. Bow, I hit your motherfucking submarine. Now what? Taking you down brick by brick. You're not doing it. And Jeff Farr, the audacity, cuz. The audacity. Y'all motherfuckers didn't even know what the fucking black agenda was until Jesse told you. You don't even know what the fucking codified means until Jesse told you. You don't fucking know anything. Because we were telling y'all motherfuckers when you were running 7th generation coons. I mean, 7th generation of whatever the fuck, right? You old motherfucking whack ass off brands over there talking
Once
about
again, everybody,
trying
it's
to
your
mock
brother
us,
Mad Black. You
trying to
know,
mock us and shit. Fuck you, right? We seeking your battleship too. No
Right.
white supremacy passes given, even if it comes in pretty black faces or ugly black faces in the house. It don't fucking matter. It don't fucking matter.
Hit him with the
Right. Sinking your battleship, okay? J1, JF1, you're going down too. It's all going down. Because why? Until y'all get some fucking straightening, you can't talk about shit. What
Yep.
you gonna do about it? Nothing. Just take that L.
Damn.
Take that L. Sink your battleship.
Hit him with the machine gun rap, Commander.
Take that L. And don't think that it's gonna come with a crib heart either. It's not.
Commander made that focus.
Go ahead, carry on with your show.
All right, well, thank you, Lady K, for those awesome words of
Black
wisdom.
empowerment.
Black Brigade has arrived.
Right. The Black Imperial Army has arrived and we seeking battleships. It's just it's only a handful of us, but trust and believe, it's a mighty handful. And a mighty handful come with a big slaps of
It's a
shoes.
mighty hand of revolution that slaps you in the face.
My NOI brothers, man, these motherfuckers are tight.
All right, so we had got on to tokenizing, and we were talking about Tim Scott getting tokenized by Trump, and then before that we were talking about Ron DeSantis, Ron the Panties. As Shabaka would say, fuck Ron DeSantis, fuck Ron the Satan, the Panties, and anybody that supports him. We won't be supporting him at all. At all. In fact, we're just going to continue to expose this. He's not even a suspected white supremacist no more. He is a white supremacist.
Yeah, he ain't the Panties, he's the Satan.
The Satan. We're going to keep exposing him. What are your thoughts, Lady Che, or Romel, actually? What are your thoughts on Ron the Panties following to run for president?
The Satan. His name is the Satan.
Okay, the Satan.
He ain't about shit. He used to shine motherfucking Trump shoes. Now Trump is kicking him in the face. He looking stupid. He don't know what to do. The Republicans ain't backing him. They're fucking worshiping fucking Trump, and that's it. Everybody in the whole Republican army, in the whole Republican fucking party is gonna motherfucking back fucking Trump, and that's it. That's all about it. The motherfuckers looking at the Satan like he's a fucking clown. That's what I got to say about that. Fuck that motherfucker.
I agree. What are your thoughts, Lady Che?
Fuck DeSantis. Let me tell you about this. All right, look. First of all, the audacity, you anchor baby. You're an anchor baby, cause I mean, like for real, like a third generation anchor baby or some crazy shit like that. Like the audacity. But all right, first of all, I don't really give a damn if you take out all the LGBTQ weirdo books out of the fucking school. Right. That shit don't need to be in there. Like, let that shit be at like tattered cover or something like that. You know what I mean? At Harkins or whatever fucking book, whatever place you could buy reading material and propaganda at. Okay, agenda material or life changing fucking brainwashing material. Let that be over there at a bookstore that you can actually pay for, but not in a school public library. And the reason I say that is because we've noticed that public school is the prime indoctrination area for this weirdo fucking agenda. Okay, now you want to do that shit in the privacy of your home. You want your mother or father to brainwash you completely. That's cool. Do it over there. That's why they have bookstores. You can go buy that shit online. Get it on Amazon. It's whatever. I don't really give a damn about those books. What I care about is the books that are erasing our Black history. When you take those books out, but you're not willing to take out your books, it becomes a real problem, right? You want us just to accept whatever the fuck you want us to, and then too, my beef is with the NAACP.
And then he wants to teach Asian Pacific culture.
Look, check this out, man. No, and it, like I'm telling you, Black people, man. All right, check it out. The NAACP, when they did that old fuck shit, right? When they first said black people don't come to Florida, all right, black people are listening, but then you don't stop everybody else from jumping the line and saying they're in danger too. LGBTQ elbow, I press, whatever fuck. Don't come here either. Motherfucking Hispanics don't want to drop off fucking loads in Florida. We ain't going. No vamos a ir. What? Yeah, you will. Yeah, you will. Right? Yeah, you will. You're just gonna drive your truck through there. Stop it. You know what I mean? Asians over there. Come on now, stop it. Florida was the fucking Professor Black True said, Florida is like an old haven for old people to retire at. And what are you gonna do about all the people that've been there? You know, you try to tell them they can't be. What about all, then? I used to live in Florida. I used to live in a little place I like to call Little Haiti.
What about Uncle Luke and Tadula Crew?
Right. Like, this motherfucker is just whack. He's off his rocker. Like, secondly, don't leave the motherfucking leave. You know, actually, we need real books in there to teach history, Black history, and fucking all the atrocities. But this is one of those things we could add to the list of harms for foundational Black Americans. This is a harmful issue. It's not only traumatizing; it's another thing we got to fucking fight about, right? So let's just add this to the list of harms that continuously keep building up. Let's not just stop at what was past harms. Let's just add to the list of harms that's been going on for like the last little bit. Now, the LGBTQ people, sit it the fuck down. Hispanics, sit it the fuck down. This ain't about you. Like, you're like they're taking all the Spanish books out. They didn't touch the Hispanic books.
They got rid of Columbus Day.
They touched that. They could have got rid of that shit a long time ago.
No, we got rid of Columbus Day, Ramil. Florida, they still celebrate that bullshit.
Fuck a marshmallow and fuck a fruity pebble.
That motherfuckers are stupid. They're like so stupid. They're like, we are so fragile. You know, like Florida is a fucking state of fragility. Damn. It's not making any. It's not making any changes except making you look like some pussies.
Damn.
Y'all some pussies over there. Y'all really soft, sweet and shit.
Don't stop, get it.
You're soft and sweet, so you can't handle no emotional trauma. So you gotta get rid of it because your fragility is in shock.
You White tears matter.
You can't handle Black empowerment on any level. You can't handle accepting the fact that you created a lot of motherfucking harms towards Black people, and then everybody else. You just jump in the wave. You wave jumpers. That's all that's about. You jump in the wave. You can't control yourself. So you think you can't let Black people have anything. You can't let them work for shit of their own. You can't let them accomplish their own fucking things and get their shit handled. So you want to jump their wave and put your fucking agendas in the mix of Black people's shit. And you gotta sit it the fuck down. Secondly, Florida and your fragile little soft dick fucking ways, calm down. Calm down. Your fragility is getting out of control. You started to look real soft. It was already the penis of the United States. Now the penis of the United States not only looks fragile and limp, it's starting to look real weak. I don't think it'll ever get back up after this.
Hey,
it looks
look at my little sad face. Fuck you and your fragilities. Black people should just go over there in troves. Should just be making waves everywhere. Black people just go outside and just be present. Motherfuckers get the point. The more we hide, the more we work and sit there. They think they're winning. No, go outside, man. Just be outside. Fuck it. You ain't got to be crazy. Just be outside and be present everywhere. I mean, they act like we can go in the house. They're always like, always making these hot boy statements like we can go in the White House. Like we can go up in Congress. Like we could go sit up in any house seat in our state. Right? You know we can't even get on the steps, right? They don't let Black people on the steps. All them white kids, like, and I'm just going to point this out right here. I'm going to bring it back to Colorado real fast. When them little white kids were going over there making a scene about East being under, all the gun violence at East. Come on, man. This is not a new thing. I remember when it was Black. But when it was Black, We couldn't go up on the steps and protest. They had police out there and everything. You think all the little white kids were all up in the chamber seats? They were taking out the little black kids out of the bathroom, trying to go pee and shit. They were taking them out and throwing them out the building. But they let the little white kids go up there. They let the little mixed Hispanic-looking ones go up in there. So, but they won't let black people go in there. I don't know how any black person is representing any seat in the House or any state. They're lucky. They're like, there's only a handful in each state, right?
We go hard on them, Twinsy. We'll front line campaign putting motherfucking pedal to the floor.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Oh, fucking fragile, soft dick, fucking Florida.
Is that it, Lady Tay?
Take out everything. Our feelings. Our feelings are hurt. We can't look at anything black history. You know, we can't. Oh my God. And then, well, let's just add on the gay shit too, and this and that, and blah blah blah. Well, let's go support this and that. Come on, man, you old fragile, soft dick, fucking pussy acting, fucking dick in the booty ass shit. Come on, stop it now. Mrs. Wack. I don't know why anybody's not saying that. It's all soft and fragile and shit.
Oh my God. Oh,
fragility. Your fragility is about to be violated.
Is that a word, Twinsy? Is that a fragility?
Yes.
That's like cover your pee hole. Your fragility is about to be taken.
Oh man. Damn.
Oh God.
Fuck a Oreo, fuck a dummy, fuck a marshmallow, and fuck a fruity pebble.
I'm like, man, DeSantis, could you get any more weaker with that shit? You think you looking tough, but you making yourself look like a ho-ho.
Facts. All right, y'all. So I gotta move us along, or we're just gonna be here all day. So thank y'all for that. The next topic is we lost a legend last week. Now, Tina Turner.
Damn.
She died at 83.
That's terrible.
And she looked good on her way out. She looked like a youngin.
Yeah.
She looked good.
So rest in
dancer, dancing for my thing. Man. She sung a lot of good songs.
I'm gonna play that, Lady Che. I got a few tracks I was gonna play actually. So shout out to Mad Blacc, the most dangerous black man on YouTube. He did an awesome commentary on the passing of true rock legend Tina Turner. Passed away last week. Was that Thursday? At 83 from stomach cancer.
Damn.
What's good, everybody? It's your brother Mad Blacc, the most dangerous and the most toxic black man on the internet, and I'm black up in your face again with some more pro-black commentary. Let me say this first before we go any further, and I just wanted to express my sympathies to the family of Tina Turner. Mm-hmm. Tina Turner is a music icon, and I think it's a shame that she passed away. Mm-hmm. I hope that she found some peace towards the end of her life, and she will never be forgotten as far as her legacy in music. To those who truly know and who truly understand the history of music in this country, or at the very least understand black music, they should know that, you know, Tina Turner is probably one of the most influential people in rock and pop music. Yeah. So many have tried to imitate her style, the way she dresses, her, you know, her voice, her dance moves, and her look, that is undeniable. Okay, some might even, you know, look at some of these other more popular female stars and wonder, like, think they were the originators of a certain look or a certain style, but really, if you go back and look, it's Tina Turner.
Right.
Before her, it's completely different, and I think that's the mark of a true music icon. Where before you showed up, things were done one way, and after you showed up, things were done completely differently afterwards. Okay, and that's to me, that's a great mark, and probably the greatest praise you can give to any musician or music icon like Tina Turner. So rest in peace to her, and big condolences to her family, her children, grandchildren, and any one of her friends that are still living. A big condolences to them. So she passed away, and a lot of people have been talking about that maybe they've had experiences with her, or maybe their first experiences listening to her music. My very first experience was Tina Turner when she was having her resurgence in the 80s. I remember that very well. Like one of my earliest memories actually is, so I never went to like a daycare. I was babysat by my grandparents. So my dad would drop me off in the morning and then come pick me up in the afternoon. And as I was getting picked up, we'd all be listening to the radio. And at that time, Tina Turner was the biggest thing on the radio at that time. I remember them playing that song, What's Love Got to Do With It, and other tracks from that album over and over again. I remember it very well. Like, that's one of my earliest memories. Like, if I close my eyes, I can picture it in my head, sitting in my dad's Camaro and, riding by the lake as we're going back to Neptune, New Jersey, and I can, hear Tina Turner song playing in my head. That memory is kind of etched in my mind. So, that's always been my experience with her. And then, seeing her be in certain movies like the Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, she played she fit in that world perfectly. I still to me, that's like her iconic style, like that with that big hair, from the 80s or even from that movie. Like, that's how, when I think of Tina Turner, that's how I think of her. Now, if you're older than me, you know the young Tina Turner, and you know her, the different styles that she wore back then. But from my experience, this is what I know her from. Okay, so going beyond that, as we get into like the late 80s, early 90s, we get that this very ridiculous and over-the-top film about Tina Turner and her relationship with Ike Turner called What's Love Got to Do With It. And I really think that biopic, or I can't really call it biopic, I'll call it a high-budget Lifetime movie. That's what I'll call it, because that's exactly what it was. It became like the prototype for how these types of films were done, especially about Black female. And it's not, I can't call it a proper biopic because it stops at a certain point. But think about, I would assume most Black people here have seen that movie. I mean, it was watched religiously in my house to the point where people quote the movie, and people still do. Like, that's the weird thing I always found about it, because I remember I was still kind of young when I saw that movie, and I won't say it traumatized me, but I'll say it was just, I didn't find anything funny about it. You see what I'm saying? Like, it was almost kind of scary to watch. I don't like seeing people that are supposed to be a couple fighting or assaulting each other like that. And I remember watching it, and I was kind of taken aback by it. But like my family, they would like think things were funny, and like they would make jokes about it. They would quote the movie. Like, I told you I didn't quit that narcotic. Like that became like one of the lines that my family likes to repeat and thinks is funny, right? even though we had drug addicts in our family. I think that's what it was. Like, that's what made it funny. Like, some of the drug addicts in our own family have tried using ridiculous excuses like that. So I guess that's what made it funny. I don't know, but it's that movie has become iconic in a lot of the lines. It's become so iconic to the point where when people think of Ike Turner, they think of Lawrence Fishburne. They're not thinking about the real Ike Turner. You see what I'm saying? Like, when you see even it's carried on even until now, to where you see memes of Lawrence Fishburne as Ike Turner, and you remember his lines or whatever from the movie. So we don't know. We truly don't know if that's how Ike Turner even talked, but we repeat these lines from the movie and just assume that's what Ike Turner is. I remember even Lawrence Fishburne talking about how he recalls, after doing that film, he got a lot of hate from a lot of people, and he would have to, kind of explain to them that that's the character I played. I'm not Ike Turner. You see what I'm saying? And I'm surprised it didn't tank his actual career. You see, luckily he's a talented actor who's able to do several different things, and I think what really helped him was when he played Morpheus in The Matrix. That really kind of turned his career over to the point where it kind of overshadowed the Ike Turner role. But if it hadn't been for that, I think his career would have been buried with that Ike Turner role, right? But yeah, I mean that movie I think was egregious. It wasn't really anything that helped Ike Turner's career. It definitely didn't help his career, but it didn't help Tina Turner's career either, in my opinion, because I think a lot of people, when they think of her, they think of that movie and think of her being as like this perpetual victim of abuse. They're not thinking about how Tina Turner is a music icon, how Tina Turner was like an example for women in rock and roll. You see what I'm saying? I don't think people really get that, to the point where, like, if you watch that movie, that's why I don't really call it a true biopic, because it stops when Tina Turner has her resurgence. You see? Like, it stops, like, it all focuses on her toxic relationship with Ike Turner, and it just stops when she's starting to have a resurgence. So, like, they don't even focus on the later part of her life where she really became even more famous, you see? And it just stops right there. And they think, like, okay, so that's the end of the movie, and they give kind of like some text about, what happened with her career after that. So you want to focus all on the abuse and the abusive relationship with Ike Turner, and you don't really want to focus on anything else, you see? So that's what I mean about this movie. Like, and for most people, when they think about this film, they don't really think about even the musical beats. They think about the abuse and the assaults and the sexual assaults, physical assaults, verbal assaults, eat the cake anime. That's what people think about when they think about that film. And that's what people think about even when they think about Ike Turner, which is a shame, because Ike Turner is also a musical icon, one of the architects of what became rock and roll and pop music in this country. But his legacy is forever tarnished by this film, where they make it just seem like as if he was all consuming, all abusive. And based on things that I've heard, people who knew Ike and Tina in the music industry, I'll just say this, that their relationship was toxic. Was Ike perfect? No. Was Tina perfect? No. Was Tina always the victim? No. It was more just a straight up toxic relationship, and people watched that movie and think it was all just Ike Turner being evil, and that's not the whole truth. Okay, and it's rough, I think, when you are two of the pillars of American music, and the only thing people can truly remember you for is the abuse, to the point where now when Tina Turner passes away, people are still making jokes based on that movie. Like I posted a meme on my Facebook where it's Lawrence Fishburne as Ike Turner looking at the clouds at the, I guess this is where Tina's perspective when she's going into heaven, and Ike Turner is waiting on her in heaven. And people were kind of laughing about it, and I said, You know, at first I thought this was kind of in poor taste, but at the end of the day, that movie is so egregious and it's become overbearing in the minds of people. I can't blame anyone for making jokes based on that film, to where you can't even separate the real people from the actors in the film to, you know, what really happened in reality. To the point where some people don't even know what Ike Turner looks like. They only know who Lawrence is playing Ike Turner. So, once again, just rest in peace to Tina Turner. I remember her as the music icon. Like I said, I remember her during her resurgence during the 80s. So that's how I'll always think of Tina Turner in my mind. The big hair and the, you know, the Mad Max movie. So I'll always have happy memories of her. Luckily, I experienced that and saw that before I saw that movie. And I know people who are a little bit older will also think of them that way. But the thing I will say is we have to be careful in the type of legacy. Be careful with who we get life and our life story and what we want to put out there about our life. Seep into people's minds and into pop culture and become our legacy. People don't even remember what we really went through. So you have to be really careful when you do these quote unquote biopics and all you because the negative is just so over the top. Like a Lifetime movie that you know.
You fell asleep. I don't have control over the show.
Remember that. They don't remember what your true achievements were when it comes to what you accomplished in music, see, or whatever you accomplished in your life. They don't really do that with a lot of white folks. Like I've seen clips from that recent Elvis movie, and more people are focused.
I'm here.
The focus on that was, you know, making Elvis seem like just this musical genius. The only people they made look bad in that movie really was his manager. They made it look like his manager took advantage of him. They made it seem in that movie like Elvis loved black people. Like he just loved to hang around black people. They couldn't wait to get back to black people. That they've already painted this whole story and this narrative about Elvis in that movie. Watch What's Love Got to Do with It. You see it. There's a certain narrative that is painted about the relationship between Ike and Turner. Once again, based on what I've heard from people in the music industry who knew them personally, they just had a toxic relationship, and I don't feel like two people like that people need to be together. But for some reason, they one another, each other's energy, and they stay together for longer than they should. But it was sick and twisted. Don't just think it was all Ike Turner, okay? And I'm not trying to do that to besmirch the memory of Tina Turner. I think she was a great person, a complicated person. She wasn't perfect, but none of us are. So I don't think I'm trying to tear down Tina Turner after she passed away. I don't want to do that because I have a lot of respect for her, and I have respect for Ike Turner as a musician as well. And I just don't think, I think they were both great people. They just probably should not have been together, okay? But who knows what would happen to having, would they be musical legends if they had not gotten together in the first place? I do think they were both integral to each other's career. That's just my humble opinion. I don't think they would have reached the heights of greatness or musical greatness without each other either. So, I mean, you folks can let me know how you feel about it in the comments section, and make sure that you like this video if you appreciate what I have to say. Anyway, Mad Blacc, and I will be back with my foot on the devil's back.
Yes, thank you, Mad Blacc. What are your thoughts on that?
What is this?
Video, Brandon. What are your thoughts, Ramel?
Shit, I think that R.I.P. Brenton Power, remembered in perfection. She was the greatest black icon in regards to the rock and roll and music industry of our time.
I concur. Lady Che, what are your thoughts?
sad to see her go. I cried tears. Moving along. I did a whole thing on this on my show the other day. Remember? I was sad. I actually cried real tears. I played this song, the one you're about to play, and thought about my villain for a little bit. And so.
Yeah, so rest in power. So we're gonna play one of her hits, or two of her hits actually. Proud Mary, live from Anaheim, Netherlands.
Private dance.
We get what we want over here, Joe Ramel. We just gotta wait.
Rolling on the river.
I watched the video.
We kind of like to do things nice and easy. But somehow, we never, ever seem to do nothing completely nice and easy. You know why? You know why? Because we like to do it. I say, we like to do it. And we like to do it nice and round. Now, we're going to take the beginning of this song and do it easy. And then we're gonna do the finish. Nice. And round. This is the way we do it. Proud Mary. Left the job in the city, working all night, every night and day. I never lost one minute sleeping, worrying about the way that things might have been. They will keep on turning. While we'll keep on burning, rolling on the river. Need a lot of praise and thanks. I'll go out and sing down New Orleans, but I never stop on the outside of the city till I hitch the ride on the river Long Queen. They will keep on turning, while I keep on burning. Now we're rolling, yeah.
Yeah. Rolling on the river. Yeah, so rest in power to Tina Turner. Lady Terry still with him.
Yes.
Is the anchorman still with us?
I don't know. Maybe not.
Did he hang up?
Possibly. Maybe.
Okay.
Looks like it.
Okay. So what are your thoughts on Proud Mary?
Like I said, I played it earlier. Reminded me of my villain. Had a whole time
Oh,
about that.
Yeah. Yeah, awesome song. One of many hits. It's basically a story about her life and journey from the south to the north.
Mm-hmm.
And what she had for on the way there.
Mm-hmm.
And she just kept pressing on. She let Tina Turner be a prime example of resilience and she left a very violent situation with Ike Turner and went on to make a huge name for herself as a solo artist. So there was another song I wanted to play, and that was Nutbush City Limits. That's with her and Ike.
A church house, gym house, a schoolhouse, outhouse, on highway number 19. The people city clean. They call it Nutbush. Oh, Nutbush. On a Nutbush city limit. 25 was the speed limit. Motorcycle not allowed in it. You're gonna score Bibles. You're going to church on Sunday. They got a Nutbush, little town. Oh, Nutbush.
Look at Eric.
City limit. You're gonna feel on a weekday. Have a picnic on Labor Day. You're going to church every Sunday. They got a Nutbush.
I'll be right back. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Maybe I'll be right back. Can you hear me, bud?
What's different say? You're getting caught in your nail. South Park and molasses.
Okay.
You get in jail. Got a Nutbush. Oh, Nutbush. They got a Nutbush too. Nutbush city limit. Yellow town, Tennessee. Come.
And there's one more. I'm waiting on Lady Trey to get back. This is Simple Best. I love it.
Need up my heart's on fire. Give me a lifetime of promises and a world of dreams. Speak a language of love like you know what it means. It can't be wrong. Take my heart and make it strong. You're simply the best. Better than all the rest. Better than anyone. Anyone I ever met. Stop on your heart. I hang on every word you say. Chance to fall. In your heart, the star of every night and every day. In your eyes, I get lost, I get washed away. Just as long as I'm here, and as long as I could be no better place. You're simply the best.
Okay.
Are you crazy, man?
All right. Thank you for coming back, Lady Shay. So yes, big rest in power to Tina Turner. She will be missed, and her music will live on. What are your thoughts, Lady Shay?
Like I said, I had to get something to eat, man. Like, I'm starting to get cranky. Like, nothing. I don't have no thoughts. The same thoughts as I had like 10 minutes ago. Sad. What else can I say? Sad.
Okay.
Sad state of... I want to hear.
What song do you want to hear, Alexa?
I don't know. What's next?
The young brother. What?
What's love got to do with it, Jesse?
Okay. All right. So we will bid her a farewell after this. So anybody born in the 80s and previous knows who the hell Tina Turner is. Grew up listening to her music in the household. Both my grandmother and my mom played her music. So yes, big rest and power to her. And yes, may her music live on. Do you have any closing thoughts on this, Lady Che?
Sure, one of my lists when I was a little girl to what I want to dance and be like, man, she was on the list. She was on the list. So when I say that video, she was breaking up couples. She was really breaking up couples.
Yeah.
Visually. That was fucked up. I would say that when I was a little girl, I wanted to sing and dance, and that one of the many 3 things I wanted to do in my life. She was on the list. And that's one fucker that wore dress shoes like no other. Like, I walk better in dress shoes. This is a fact. Than I do in anything else, even barefoot. I walk better in dress shoes just because of Tina Turner.
Yeah, she definitely had legs for days. Rest in power to her, and may her memory live on, and definitely may her music live on. I'm gonna move us along to our next topic because we're kind of pressed for time now. The next topic is young black boy shot by the police in Mississippi. Very sad state of affairs, black family. This young brother could have been killed, and what seems to be a pattern. It is a pattern in this country. They would go out of their way to justify his murder, because he's black. So let me see. Here we go. Shout out to Lisa Cabrera again. If y'all haven't liked and subscribed to her channel, please do. She's awesome insight before it hits the mainstream news. So make sure y'all subscribe to her from a pro-black perspective.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure many of you probably heard this story or at least saw it out there where an 11-year-old called 911 because of a domestic disturbance that was going on. And the police arrived and shot this poor child. You know, I can literally see police becoming obsolete in America. I do. I mean, I know some people think that's far-fetched. I don't think it's far-fetched. I think when there's enough killings from people calling, I think it is going to eventually turn everything around. You know, it's almost there now. I definitely see it happening. So let's get into this story. Let's get into it, y'all. This is so disgusting. A Mississippi police officer he's suspended without pay. He really should be jailed for what he did to this child. So he's accused of shooting an unarmed 11-year-old child, called law enforcement for assistance in a domestic disturbance incident. Has been suspended without pay. So this officer's name is Sergeant Greg Capers. Okay, this is Sergeant Greg Capers. Oh boy. So they said right now the investigation is ongoing into the shooting that unfolded last weekend at the home of Adarian Murray, who is the 11-year-old. his family attorney, Carlos Moore, told the Associated Press, "This can't keep happening. This is not okay.
No, it's not.
If a non-police officer was to shoot somebody, it's not okay. When they do it, it's not okay.
Right.
When the police do it, they have a protocol. He was trained. He knows what to do. Like, if you are scared, you are in the wrong field. Yes.
Right.
If you got to say, I feared for my life, then you need to turn in your badge and gun.
Right.
You have no business even being a cop.
I concur.
You have no business being a cop. You should leave and find another profession. Because y'all only use as a defense mechanism to get out of taking accountability.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason why that phrase is used. So anyway, the child's mother, I think her name is Nakala Murray, told reporters earlier this week. So his mother said the police responded to the residents in a rural city at 4 a.m. Saturday after the father of one of her children showed up knocking on the window and appeared irate. Okay. So justice needs to be done. This is what his mother is saying. This stuff cannot keep happening. My baby almost lost his life. He doesn't understand. I don't understand. It was scary. It was traumatic, she added. My daughter was in the house as well. My 3-year-old nephew stays with me as well. It could have been him running around the corner. He couldn't have took that bullet. So anyway, Moore told AP, and if you look at where you see the bandage on his chest, a few centimeters over, this child wouldn't even be alive.
Mm-hmm.
This is just horrible. These cops are not trained to serve the community,
No, they're
especially ours. They're trained to kill us over any little thing. And that's just what they do.
That's what they do.
And I think when he shot the child, for him to die, he did not think he was going to live. Just looking where that bullet went in, no, he was trying to kill this child.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, now this is a hard one, y'all. So Moore told AP that 2 police officers responded, and one kicked in the front door before, she could open the door. She told them the intruder had left the area, but 3 children were inside, according to Moore. Moore said Nicola Murray told him that Capers yelled into the home and said anyone inside should come out with their hands up. Moore said Darian walked into the living room with nothing in his hands, and Capers shot him in the chest.
Mm. Mm.
You couldn't tell that was a child.
Right. Mm, mm, mm.
So, of course, Darian didn't know why he turned to his mother after he was shot and said, "Why did he shoot me?"
Yeah.
Oh, boy. He ran to me. He was bleeding. I held him. He bled out of his mouth. That had to be scary. So he was taken to the hospital. He spent 5 days in the local hospital for treatment for a collapsed lung. and lacerate liver. Oh my goodness. And he had fractured ribs before being discharged on Wednesday. He shot an 11-year-old child in the chest. He tried to kill this baby. So, according to the local newspaper, Capers is the officer who fired the shot, according to the AP. Mississippi Department of Public Safety spokesperson Bailey Martin also told the news agency upon completing the investigation, agents will share their findings with the Attorney General's office. Due to this being an open and ongoing investigation, no further comment will be made. So, the Associated Press also reached out to the police department and, they never responded. But this is terrible.
Right.
This is terrible. This child is never for the rest of his life going to ever trust a police officer or be reluctant to even call one if something is going down. Now, he did that really to protect his mother, and I guess the father of one of the children was upset. I mean, that's a hell of a time to show up at somebody's house at 4 a.m., and they said he appeared really irate. So when that child picked up that phone to call 911, he was looking to protect his mother.
Right.
He's only 11. He can't take on no grown man.
Right.
Not at 11 years old. And the cop was, as you can see, did more harm than good. And this is what we see the majority of time. They do more harm than good. And this child, you don't know what health problems he's going to have for the rest of his life. That's a lot of
keep them live on my show.
From a single bullet.
I'm live on my show.
You don't always bounce back from all of these gun injuries at all. And she's right. He could have easily have lost his life. And it just hurts to see him standing there with that bandage on his chest, and you know what happened to him. A collapsed lung, a lacerated liver, and the fractured ribs. Those are not easy things to recover from, even for a grown-up.
Yeah, just call Bo.
So I'm glad the mother got a lawyer. Police department, period. And yeah. Person had left.
Right. Trigger happy page.
You can't even say, oh, well, the cop had to go by. What judgment did he have to go by? And the mother told you this person left.
Right.
So why would you be shooting anybody at the house? Oh, boy. I pray for Darian Murray to have a quick recovery.
Yes.
I really do. And his family get the justice they definitely deserve. This child did not deserve what happened to him at all. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.
All right, Lady Che, what are your thoughts on
what
we just watched?
Shit. That man should be ashamed of himself. And that's shit. Utter shit.
I concur.
No real conflict resolved.
What is up with Mississippi though? Cause this is like, it's gotta be like the second or third of something like this happening, where
with black people shoot, with black cops
family
black
called the police, and the police came, and they ended up shooting and killing somebody, shooting a innocent child, killing somebody that was having mental health breakdown.
A child is considered like a soft target.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Child is like a soft target, especially if it's calling for help. That's even worse. That's the most cowardly motherfucking shit you could do. That dude is a coward.
Right.
He's he
Straight
did
up.
that. He did that. Like, that's the worst thing you can do is shoot a child. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You know what I mean? Especially the one that called for help. He called for help. It's another reason why we can't call the police.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's just another fucking thing, man. I don't want to, there's times where it's like, me and Jesse be having these discussions like, well, what if we had to call the police? We can't call the police. You can't trust it, whether they're actually going to show up to help you or shoot you.
Right.
You don't know. It's like fucking playing Russian roulette with 911. It's fucking retarded.
That's exactly what it is.
That's really sad.
Like Flavor Flav said back in the 90s, 911 is a joke. Yeah, and the mother told them the person wasn't there, and he still kicked in the door and went in guns blazing.
My little boy got hurt, and
so our thoughts and prayers can go out to.
Like I said, women, little children, elders. Those are like soft targets.
Mm-hmm.
Disabled soft targets, and that's a black man shooting a black little boy. What does that say? You know what I mean? That's a whole different message.
The police are trained to kill us. That's what that says. No matter what they look like, they're still trained to kill us.
Don't want another black man to exist in the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't want him to grow up and be a black man.
Mm-hmm.
So you try to take him off the map. You see what I'm saying? There's another whole message right there. When I factor in, is like, not only is that little boy a soft target, but it's an older black man trying to end a young man's life, and he hasn't even had a life yet. He's only 11. What could he have possibly done in this world that would contribute to anything fucking that foul, right? But he wouldn't, if he did, by the grace of some miracle, didn't, make it through that. That man would have wiped out another young black person who hadn't had a chance to grow up and see what he could have been possible if he would have succeeded. Luckily, little boy is still with us, so be thankful for that.
Right.
But that's another message of trying to wipe off the black man off the fucking planet. I mean, God, man, he's just contributing to the fucking problem, which in essence, that man is the problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
There are a whole bunch of messages in that whole shit. That shit.
Put a phrase up.
Real foul play on words. This is really fucked up. It's like, you can't protect your mother. You can't, you think about it like this. You look at it like this. This young boy trying to protect his mother, right? Which is the right thing to do. You call somebody, then you call it for help to protect your mother.
As a young boy.
So, a woman raising a young black man to protect her or protect the family is just another essence of why they gotta try to cap that and take that off the map. So he can't protect his mother. He can't. We wouldn't have. If he didn't make it through, he wouldn't have been able to protect his wife and children or family. If that, you know what I mean. And he's trying to just do the right thing. This is something. Just trying to encourage us to do the right things. He gonna grow up with some pettiness and bitterness going on inside of him. How can you trust the police after that? How can you trust another black man after that? Look at it from that aspect. He's a young brother gonna grow up to be another man. How is he gonna be able to trust another black man? How is he gonna be able to trust the police? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't see it.
Way to protect his family. He didn't have to go that route. He didn't have to. He shouldn't have had to learn. You shouldn't have to learn the harder ways to protect your fucking self and your family, because now some motherfucker decided to go ahead and throw in another atrocity. Add this to the list of harms. I'm serious. Add this to the list of harms, because that's a traumatic fucking event.
I concur, Lady Che. So yeah, we'll keep y'all updated on this case. Hopefully, justice will be served. And the damn pig that shot man will serve time in prison or at least jail. Because he could have killed that young boy. He killed that young man. There's just no justification for this at all. There's none. We'll watch the white-owned media. We'll try to find some justification for it. Yeah, but there is none, Black family. There is none. Except that the police are trained to kill us. That's all that says. Yeah, so I'm going to move us along, unfortunately. The next topic is much closer to home in Aurora. Young black man, about 20-something, ends up getting pulled over just by APD for no reason besides being black or driving while black. And now he is suing APD.
Good for him.
Thoughts on APD?
Huh? What?
Lady Che, give the people context of what a Aurora Police Department is like.
Well, racist motherfuckers ever. They profile, they stalk, they chase you down for no goddamn reason. They're so quick to fucking throw their lights on. They profile, they stalk, they're abusive. They get you in their jail, they're abusive. They don't mind using fucking all kinds of torturous means while you're in Arapahoe County. This is the only fucking county in our state that takes 3 days to book somebody. It's smaller than Denver. Like, make it make sense.
Yep.
I've watched them torture pregnant women. I've watched them torture drugs or going through psychosis. I've watched them give them ketamine. I've watched them abuse people. I've watched them.
Some power to Elijah McClain.
Okay, I came from Arapahoe County, so I've seen them be abusive to me since I was little. So it has never gotten any better for me. And I'm a grown-ass motherfucking adult. I drive by them, I look at them like they're shit. I think they're shit. And if I had my way, I would tax the fuck out of them every time they did something seriously fucking ugly.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even everything is a serious thing to me, and when it comes to them abusing people. So hey man, sue for whatever. And you know what? I hope this brother sues them like that other how that white man got away, got his family sued the fuck out of one of the counties, right?
Yeah.
I hope he gets paid big. I hope that this it's a fucking another example. And the reason I say that is because Arapahoe County it seems to get that slap on the wrist. They've been doing this good old boy shit for a long fucking time. They pushed one of the chiefs out because they didn't agree with her fucking her positions of trying to clean up the city, and they made it so hard for her. They pushed her out, and nobody wanted to talk about all the fucking um white supremacy that goes on there in the
Mm-hmm.
city of Aurora. You know what I mean? And so I can speak to that because I've been in the city of Aurora, minus my time in Denver, for a long fucking time. So I can tell you that the levels of white supremacy here and racism, the good old boy club, the sweep it under the rug, it'll go away type shit is epic. The abuse that they put on brothers and sisters, epic. The amount of neglect they give their fucking inmates, epic. You know what I mean? So I got no love, no fucking love. So whenever somebody's giving them the business, I gotta give them respect.
I concur. So here's the video. A warning: this video is very graphic.
Get to it.
Act stupid again.
A man is suing 8 Aurora police officers, accusing them of violating his civil rights during a traffic stop. It's a case we've been covering since 2021 when it all happened. Fox 31's Nicole Fierro joining us live in studio to break down the details of this newly filed lawsuit. Nicole. Yeah, we brought you Preston Nunn the third story back in 2021 after that traffic stop in May when we this body camera footage. That was about September. Now we have 22 pages sharing what Preston and his attorneys are calling violations of his civil rights and calling APD policing, in this case, quote, racially biased. Body camera footage shows the stop in 2021 when police pulled Preston Nunn the third over after they say he drove into the officer's lane, nearly hitting them with his car. The lawsuit says rather than allowing Mr. Nunn to produce his license and registration, Aurora officers pointed a gun at his head, tackled him, slammed his head into the ground, applied a chokehold, handcuffed him, tased him twice, attempted to hog-tie him, and ultimately arrested him. It goes on to claim Aurora police officers not only violated their own policies, but also violated Mr. Nunn's constitutionally protected rights to be free from excessive force, saying the only plausible explanation for the senseless escalation is that Mr. Nunn, a black man, was treated differently by the Aurora officers due to his race. Something of note to our legal analyst is the inclusion of a 2021 Colorado Attorney General's report that the suit states found that APD had a pattern and practice of racially biased policing against black people and a pattern of practice of using force excessively.
And that both changes the nature of the claim and the amount of the potential damages, because it would allow Mr. Nunn to reach the agencies above and beyond the individual officers.
So they reached out to APD. They tell me they're not able to comment on pending litigation, but the officers involved, they're still working for APD. We'll hear from his attorneys tomorrow as well. Live in studio, Nicole Fierro, Fox 31.
Oh my God, they all need to be fired, and this brother needs to get paid, seriously paid, like multi-millions of dollars paid. What are your thoughts, Lady Che? Since this is your city.
I agree. I totally agree. Sue the fuck out of them.
Right.
Even if I ran for city council at large, I would still agree. he still has to sue the fuck out of him. Go for it. Pay that man. And don't consider that reparations. That's not
Right.
reparations. That's nothing. Just pay that man and still give him his reparations.
Right. Period.
Y'all motherfuckers like to slip that in. Like, oh, well, you know, and this is considered reparations. No, that's not. That's not. You fucked up. Pay him and pay him his reparations.
Yep.
Not
No, you already know how it's going to go. Taxpayers are going to pay for this. APD's not going to pay for it. It's not going to come out of their pension.
That's another thing I feel like needs to change. Like, majorly. That's another thing I feel like needs to change. Get that man everything.
The officers are still working. How are they still working? Terminated.
Right. Well, you can't really quit them because then they're going to go get a job over there with Ron DeSantis.
Well, that won't be our problem no more.
But it'll be some other black person's problem in another city.
Yeah.
So the problem is
well, you know, they don't get fired; they just get transferred.
Right. The problem is they need to be stripped of all their policing privileges everywhere. That needs to be a punishment for real. Like, you can never be a police officer.
Stripped of all their policing privileges. They need to be stripped of their pension.
You can't be security. You're like reluctant. You're like the next janitor. Like, for real, you should be stripped. Because if you get fired here, you can just mob over there to Florida and be a motherfucking race soldier over there, a violent one at that, for DeSantis, and that can't happen. So we have to end that here. Every state needs to end that. You can't take your fucking prior. You should be able to be blackballed or like
they can fire somewhere else.
Yeah, you should have a fucking warning thing across your anytime you go through the fucking the background checking or whatever, when they start doing you run your application and you served over here, there should be a big bold fucking red bright motherfucking letters, unhireable, undesirable mark, some type of shit where he cannot be employed under any circumstance. Like, no matter what, he is reelected. He is like relegated to working at Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Bro. Or relegated to cleaning up the landfill or something fucking disturbing and fucking fucked up. Because he right there fucked up. They all fucked up. So strip them of all their shit. They act like there's not a lineup for motherfucking coons to join the fucking police system. They try to propagate this shit to our children to talk about fucking being junior recruits. No, son, I do not want my baby to be out there being a police officer. No, you know what I need you to do? I need you to learn a trade.
Right.
That's what I need you to do. I need you to learn some shit because we're gonna need you for other shit. Not protecting the people because God knows they give you a pistol, you might get too happy with it. No. Yeah. We need you to learn how to put up some solar. We need you to learn how to dig some serious trenches. We need to let you learn how to get underground and fix that plumbing. We need to learn how to keep the lights on when they shut the lights off. You know what I mean? We need some AI motherfuckers that are ready to take down some robotic engineering because they're trying to fucking take over. You know what I mean? I need you to learn a trade. Real shit.
All right, ladies, man. So like I said, this brother needs to get paid. APD should be ashamed of themselves. This consent decree came out last year, bias against black people, and they use excessive force against black people. So enough is enough of this, Daniel Oates. You got some explaining to do. The officers involved in this, they need to be fired and have their pensions, period, and not be able to be hired anywhere else in this country. Keep y'all updated on the Dunn case. Now, to the last topic of the afternoon is the Unhoused Neighbor News and House Neighbor Suites. And then we're freezing up again. Lady Che, can you hear me? Lady Che.
What?
Hear me?
I didn't hear the question. It's cut out. You cut out. I didn't hear the question.
I was saying, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I was getting to the last two topics, which is unhoused neighbor news and unhoused neighbor sweeps. And my connection is acting stupid. Okay. So the sweeps continue, Black family. Sweep scheduled last week. Unfortunately, me and Lady Che were not able to make it.
This is real simple for why we can't make it, right? I got in an accident, family. Right? And it took like 2 weeks to get straight. And then on the final week, which is this week, right? Everything is straight, kind of in a way. I'm just really fucking sick. So I can't finish the last little piece to put myself out back on the road. And Jesse's been doing some side stuff. So, help us take care of shit, So it's been a complication. But we've been watching. Not to mention, we're still outside. We had not been outside. I should be straight this week. I'm hoping to be outside and I'm hoping to be able to move around because you don't understand what I've been going through. Like literally, my heart and lung has been giving me fits. I gotta sit straight up, or else it's a wrap for your girl. And as far as the mobility is concerned, we got the shit handled with that white lady. That shit's a wrap. So now everything's progressing and moving forward. I just have to go ahead and find the right mobility device for myself. So I'm hoping I can get it handled. I would like to get it handled tomorrow, but most likely I'll probably get it handled on Tuesday. So let's keep our fingers crossed and hope for the best. Go ahead, Jesse.
Yes, so sweeps continue. Like I said, Michael Hancoon is in his last month of office. About a month and a half of office. And the sweeps continue. The Nuggets, my team, as you can see from the hat, are hosting the finals. So there's been massive sweeps going on around downtown, gearing up for that. But we have some news to share with you. So the Colorado Coalition for the Homeless celebrates a legislative.
I'll be right back. Keep reading. I got to do something really, really fast. I'll be right back. Kid.
Okay. Colorado Coalition for the Homeless, which is one of the many service providers here in Denver, and I am a client of, celebrates legislative wins in education. The Coalition for the Homeless for the last 2-3 years has been doing this education series, attempting to educate the public on what the root causes of homelessness are in Denver and possible solutions to our unhoused neighbor crisis. So the article from my neighbor David Heights goes, the Colorado Coalition for the Homeless highlighted several legislative victories May 25th during its ongoing education series. The homelessness, health issues for Coloradans focus on action at the Colorado State House. The coalition's advocacy program director, Aubrey, said the legislative session proved hectic with all the bills the coalition followed. Said. But she said the legislators hit the ground running in the desired outcomes reached on 90% of bills tracked. called Coalition for Homeless Experience desired comes on 90% of bills they tracked. Victories included lifting the Medicaid cap so people can get more affordable health care, giving municipalities the right of first refusal on apartment buildings that go on the market. This allows purchase property and try to keep it affordable. Otherwise, corporate owners come along, slap some paint on the walls, and jack up the rent so high the previous tenants can't afford it. Protections for renters, including a cap on deposits up 2 months' rent. While said some apartment communities require 8 months of rent for a deposit. Another bill prohibits landlords from asking a subsidized tenant to have at least double the monthly rent for income. Under the new regulations, the tenant only would have to show that they could pay the rent 2 times 2 per month. Yet another bill by landlords of people with houses would allow people due in court for proceeding to attend remotely. A bill that allows properties contaminated with methamphetamine to be remediated and placed back on the market, passed with amendments pushed by the coalition. The bill requires the Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment to create a public database of buildings that have been used as illegal drug laboratories, according to the coalition's 2023 legislative report. The definition of illegal drug laboratories includes housing units where methamphetamine was used, not only manufactured, and the threshold for contamination is low. This concerned the coalition's safety staff because particularly any use by residents could result in a black mark in the database and require cost remediation. It would also negatively impact tenants by forcing them out of their homes for remediation without warning. The sponsors amended the bill to specify it only pertains to locations where meth was manufactured. CCH and other nonprofit housing providers will consider pushing for future legislation to mitigate the cost of remediation, improve tenant stability protections, and examine the low threshold for both remediation and legislation that could sweep into units where negotiable use or negligible use occurred, according to the legislative report. Protections for pet owners. I think I scrolled down too far. Okay, there we go. Strengthen Samaritan law. Such laws allow prosecuted for providing the drugs. A bill that bans cities from setting future growth caps. For the coalition said it's important when talking about affordable housing that the emphasis is on the big A in affordable. That is not affordable housing in a generic sense, but housing with supports and subsidies so the most income residents can afford them. If we don't target source resources and invest in capital A affordable housing, we'll never solve this crisis. Alderman. Listen, that supply alone would not solve the affordable housing crisis without affordability requirements and anti-displacement analysis and plans, according to the legislative report. These issues were highlighted in CCH's report, Colorado's Affordable Housing Crisis, It's Time for Strategic Investments, which was released in early April 2023 to combat the narrative of trickle-down housing and argue for targeting limited public resources for those households with the greatest needs and historic barriers in housing. Tireless advocacy. According to the legislative report, CCH shaped the policy process through drafting bill language and amendments, participating in stockholder convenings, engaging in direct and grassroots lobbying, and providing public and written testimony on 11 or 17
We'll have to wait. Technical difficulties. Yeah. Well, basically, I think that video's there. You go. Thank you.
I had one more, like a sentence left to read. I don't know what the hell happened. My whole browser just crashed. Let's see. I think this is it right here. No, that's not it. Here it is. Childish advocacy. The coalition sent out alerts. Resulting in 871 messages to legislators in support of the organization's priorities, and generated community awareness and support on social media. With guidance from longtime contract lobbyist Danny McCarthy of Mendez, Barkis, and Associates, the coalition tracked 146 of the 617 introduced bills, 24%. The coalition actively engaged on 45 bills and achieved the desired outcome on 38 bills. Oh snap, Lady Che. The coalition is trying to make it seem like they're doing something. Listen.
It's just because it's election season.
Yeah. They just don't want to lose their funding.
Right, this is just election season shit. They'll be back to fucking up in like 3 months.
So what are your thoughts, Lady Che?
Like I said, everything's for election.
What I just read. Can't hear you.
Sounds good.
That's it? Okay.
Yeah. It sounds good. I think it's all for election season. I think this is just we've been complaining about the Colorado Coalition for like years. And now they want to do something?
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna thank us though. Right?
No.
Like, we've been complaining about this shit for years. I mean, we've both been fucking clients of the fucking CCH. I mean, I don't even want to get into CCH with me. So, like, I've been saying, what did I say? County Alderman should be fired. Motherfucking,
Yep.
I was at a whole campaign for like a whole year about
10 people below her should be fired.
You know what I mean? I mean, that's like a whole campaign about this shit. Like, the other one, the brunette one, whatever the fuck her name was, I don't know. She doesn't work there no more. She does. Who knows? Who knows? Um, I mean, we've been successful in getting a couple of people fired.
Yeah,
Let's
we
just say,
definitely have.
yeah, it's just not it's not something that's kind of like new. Now it's like, oh, now you want to do something, but yet you will not. You refuse to do the right things with certain clients. You know what I mean? Fucking ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's all for election season.
I concur. So, got one more article off the show.
Okay.
Would you mind reading the article if I could get it pulled up?
If it's not gonna throw up on me, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I don't see the stuff.
Oh, what you do there?
Don't me now. All right, here we go.
Am I right?
Opinion.
Oh shit.
Shout out to my neighbor again.
I kept my
Can
chin
you
up
see
there.
it?
Yeah, come on, let's go. Let's go.
Opinion.
I kept my chin up during homelessness. Scroll down. Start scrolling.
And survived.
I stayed in an encampment outside the Salvation Army Crossroads homeless shelter for several months. Okay, a man who lives in my building recently told me his life is lacking purpose. He said he can't get excited about anything. I told him I've been thinking about writing about purpose. It's the only thing that saved me when I experienced homelessness in 2019. Perhaps due to my psychosis, I never felt I was less of a person during homelessness. My self-esteem did not take much of a beating. I felt I had been the victim of heinous corruption that caused my homelessness. I believe not anything I did, and that's largely true. I was sober minus medical cannabis for most of the time. I experienced homelessness. I'd gotten sideways with some politicians in my hometown, and bad things began to happen to me. The Denver homeless guy. Every day I wrote about things I encountered as a homeless person. I had a blog called The Denver Homeless Guy, but I have since removed it. I penned many of the posts while out of touch with reality, but I also chronicled police abuse, drunken homeowners fights, and much more. I absolutely looked at homelessness as a duty my higher power has selected me for. I looked at it as an opportunity to learn something. I had lived in a largely privileged life. Before my father died, I never would have became homeless. He would have supported me during periods of mental distress when I could not work. Caring for my father with dementia and caring for me created a symbolic relationship. Scroll up a little bit. Try to read. Scroll up. Right there. For many years, my father gave me great purpose, even though I just dreaded living in my hometown of Rock Island. Um,
Illinois.
Okay, scroll down. Okay. When my father died, I lost my purpose. I had no one to visit every day, no one to advocate for. When he entered a memory care facility, I went back to work as a writer after taking several years off. All during my homelessness, despite suffering from acute psychosis, I wrote every day about the realities of being unhoused, missing IDs, violent encampment dwellers, and nowhere to go to the bathroom. I would email my blogs each day to the entire Denver City Council and every member of Congress. And although many of the recipients likely filed my dispatches in junk mail, I took my self proclaimed duty as the homeless reporter very seriously. I wrote about several things no one had written about before. You're a journalist, right? Police used to laugh at me when I would tell them I worked many years as a journalist. I consider being beaten and arrested by the police just part of the assignment my higher power had given me. You've heard of the saying, it certainly was an experience. Well, for someone who never had been in trouble before, other than a DUI in 07. Spending almost a year in jail opened my eyes. I've still found great purpose in my journalism. Today, I often write about living with chronic mental illness. I behaved in a manner totally off the wall during homelessness in Denver. Medication which changed my life. It's hard to believe I'm the same person who used to roam the streets screaming obscenities. I never stopped believing in myself. Many people would argue my parents did not teach me how to support myself. They would say both parents spoiled me and I always got me out of financial lines. I never had to sink or swim. But that may have taught me to believe in myself because I persevered during homelessness. When the Denver Central Library banned me for getting into a shouting match with a patron, I found another library to use. When the downtown library security guard showed me up showed up at that library in 5 Points, she banned me from there too. I then began to use computers at Aurora campus library to write my blogs. But that proved challenging. The library requires you to show your ID when using a computer. I did not have an ID, and it was disappeared during a run-in with the paramedics. So I had a big friend with student workers who would let me use a computer without an ID. Okay. I kept my chin up despite having to lower myself in many situations. During homelessness, my mother always used to say that as long as I told the truth, nothing bad could ever happen to me. And I believed that and kept faith that one day I would be housed again. The day finally came, but not without almost a year in jail, almost a year in the state mental hospital. I held out hope when I was homeless that I would work in journalism, the job that I loved, and here we are. My career has given me great purpose for most of my life. I believe that the drive to get the story saved me during homelessness. Writing kept me in the present so I wouldn't have time to feel for myself. But sorry for myself. I hope my neighbor finds the purpose he craves.
Right on. Right on. Thanks for sticking in there, David. Despite everything that you had to endure being unhoused on the streets of Denver. What are your thoughts, Lady Che?
I mean, I can dig it. Um, I can dig it. I mean, like, there's times where when you deal with certain mental psychosis that you find that you don't know what your purpose in life is. I go through that all the time. That's a serious situation. And it's usually because majority of the time when people feel like that, it's probably because they've given so much and they just feel let down. That there's not very many outlets. They say they're outlets, but there really isn't an outlet. The outlet requires money and patience. And a lot of people don't have patience to listen to other people talk about their shit. So people get into blogs and things like that. Um, for that for that person, it's kind of a stress relieving. It's kind of a way to get their shit out. So I know I can relate to that situation. I can not for the fact that I didn't know how to survive. I've been outside my whole life, so it's not like that. My problem was is that I kept things. I'm pretty private, so I'm really private if you really think about it. I don't have a lot to talk to people about because I feel like everyone is always judging me or critiquing or criticizing me or trying to change me. So I try to just keep my shit to myself. Um, the little outbursts that people are seeing like online and shit, that's nothing new. That's nothing new. That's just for like online. That's like the online thing. It's new to y'all. It ain't new to me. I have outbursts all the time about certain shit I feel fucking um upset about. Um, I feel like though that there is no real therapy for anybody. Nobody can get real therapy anywhere. You talk to your friends or
Especially
whatever,
from
but
God.
shit. Yeah, that's even more true because I feel like we're subjected to really, really, really um, holding shit in. And then when we get to a level where we can't really hold it in no more, we just explode all over the place. We have these fucking meltdowns. And then everybody, "Oh, what's wrong?" And you seen the problem for like fucking a year building up, 2 years. A motherfucker, especially when you're a vocal person, you don't have a problem saying what's wrong. You know what I mean? Like, oh, look, this bothers me. But motherfuckers just dismiss it. So, like, a year and a half later, when you fucking have your meltdown, they act like they didn't see the signs. But you're clearly fucking saying, I'm bothered. It's like, you're stupid. It even makes that person feel worse. Because not only were you not paying attention to them, and you weren't listening to them telling you the motherfucking warning, and they weren't, like, clearly spelling it out for you, you clearly dismissed them, and that makes them feel even worse than less than a person. It's really shitty. It's like I just don't pay attention, and then when something bad happens, you're like, I didn't know that felt that way. Not the cap, you knew it's been going on for a year. You know what I mean? Now you have to be more cognizant. But at the same time, there's no. It's like you know what I mean? And so I can dig it. I can dig it when you don't know really what you're doing, or you have a higher calling, but there's so much going on that too. No one believes in your higher calling. No, everyone wants to shut you down and tell you to be someone else when you can't. You can only do what you can do. So I can dig it. It's a good article.
All right. Thank you for those awesome words of wisdom, advice, Lady Tay. Off the show now. Thank y'all for tuning in to season 3. We will be back next Saturday with a brand new episode. In the meantime, make sure you check out our other platforms, the Revolutionary Agenda, which Lady Tay will be dropping in.
I think this week is going to be a nothing but collaborative fucking shit about Aurora and what's going on in Denver. I plan on terrorizing the city for a little bit. Like, not really terrorizing. Like, don't take it like that. I just plan on giving them that light work.
And Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced will have a special edition tomorrow in honor of Memorial Day, which is a Black holiday. What is it called? Decorations Day. Yeah, so we're going to touch on that. So make sure y'all stay tuned for that. And then join us on Tuesday for our regularly scheduled Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced. I don't know what the topic's going to be, but I'm pretty sure Shabaka will come up with something ASAP. And like and subscribe to the Front Line Blacc News on YouTube and Facebook, and Revolutionary Agenda on YouTube and Facebook, and Shabaka EXP on Twitter. Any final words, Lady Tay?
No. The RVA will probably come on in between Shabaka and Shabaka.
Okay. All right. Well, thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We'll see y'all on the next one. So peace, love, light, reparations, and separations, and Black empowerment. We're out. Peace.